say dear yenam top connect so emani sika de bagana efi wiase afa na nyina yentia kapre ane aye free top connect amasika mani ayem rekra ye wohia ne se wo download with top connect app no e Play Store dia ma wo Android phone and na se wo use iPhone so ko Apple Store na download the top connect aye simple kra top connect wa manda radio num so wo Europe North America and Asia wo mane wo dofu sika fa top connect so aye ntem na emre na ma wa hoto so sese die sika mani di foforo kra any top connect so wo hia chichimu bia for top connect e wo +442 081 6155 and a +442 081 761 600 +447 882 950 088 and nasa hwehwe top connect e wa befon tintenfidie nyina so top connect fasika mane wa dofo sumjemu a wontia kapre top connect yes ye die
let me go straight to the point. We will find wada. Once you attack and send me says so you work a see come air conditioner and also them air conditioning no and said that work a see no crane say one funny papa and I'm installation now mountia with everything called enterprise say air conditioning installation anymore a rubia okay new never cold room it's a cold stores and Bavia you didn't ever see I was saying you know everything called enterprise a nice one at your mawa a rubia no put you in the kadika you install central air conditioning split air conditioning car air conditioning never solar panels also you want a nice at your mawa or you be a boost straight not only in your body fee so what you said and our gas nasa say you come with the anal fear dear and our cold store dear very nice and quick but we will be you don't be yen the amount also more rich I'm obviously die my can over to me afraid you can lie with so yeah be install air conditioning be amamu friend was 447508650279 oh wager I just sent kind of fire service wow friends 0544489343 and 0302906276 your website you know everythingcode.org and I send you email kj@yahoo.co.uk everything called enterprise air conditioning master no
see fire will burn you NFM Radio Jumadia Mansa
President Manado your friend Matheson sunyana na no makwatena awo ni Holland akosam infifure sika kakra ni nyaaye no me diaba mia me maimu Ghana the about to registered bank AJN bank President Nanado Uber TV so be catch Ghana for say JN bank anye na dwuma yi ti waje bank na licenses no with the customers ni sika be mo 3 years muni mensanka emisika sika kakre ka ye no so 550 million media kwa to commercial bank na me say commercial bank de me di misika ko to a e save President Nanado enam IMF bosiana wo kwa koboninti osimi misika 550 million na odi akwa ye adwumanya interest wo so no once the koran onfa mame misika trene no so ose onfa mame jese 2024 na sika no interest ketuwa no amenya no obema mi mu 5% menya adwuma wo Ghana mintimi so enko Holland se me kwa ye adwuma mimfia kwa ni mu kakra kwan ben so na mefa so a me ne ire ne memba ibedidi Mr. President mesero se me ma se me be street carefully ho mia misika makosam infifure enya no mesero se obama mensa aka obi bia obi tie saa me audio me recording yi bi no mesero se mo de beto mo platform so ebetimi afa so ma President Nanado nensa aka we nyamase ni bi etie Ghana paying for mesero so se mo ne President Nanado be kasa ma me medamase.
Good morning, President Nanado Adankwa Akufo-Addo. I'm paying me bano boko. Medin the ASP retired Franklin Nate. Mesun Ghana ewo police mu 24 plus years. Na me gratuity me san kano me di top bond 2 years. Aka 1 year this year September. Year 2023. Na me bond no amateur. Wu adwina wo de ba ye say wakoboka ana wa bugana abofom enti mi brama bre sika medi to bond no commercial bank no unfa mame we enye amroba ene ebe chimiji mi sika o oman penia ya tu abama no se onhwe yeso emra wo full plane 18,000 pounds an hour. Nkrofo kachre wante. Emra wo fa so many ministers say onu na onye omu betumi aye adwuma. Nkrofo kachre wante. Ene your incompetence inti me bre amabre. Me disika yedi tua me ka say gratuity. Me fa hwe me ho so no. Usi wafa. This is 2033. Se mi manu na upese omumbe jisika na minana no mo a minim. President, woni diemu Israel. Unyana ni bank edi enim eji loans no mfaso a wanya no misrew manu fansa mfaso no ekutu yesika no mesika no mfama me nanado utinu ye den papa obi ama ye dwuma Ghana mra kire say 24 years plus no yentu ameka as a retired officer no musi wontu ameka me nya 60 years here. Nanado Minister Mibisa Wu. Have you been a civil servant in Ghana before? Have you worked as a civil servant? Please. Nanado. Mimpese. Mbe kasati yao. Mimpese mbe dumi usu eni ubusiya debi. Midi yao esreo. Tise na Mr. Matheson. Efrisu nyani esreo no. Jamisika mami, midin the ASP Franklin Kwesi Nate, mi tome bongo commercial bank. It was Accra North branch. Please, I beg you, in the name of God, don't touch my money. Don't touch my money. Don't touch my money. Anybody who receives this, please send it to as many platforms for Nana Adodanko Akufo-Addo to hear and to see, or his cousin Ken Oforiatta should hear. Please, Nanado, I'm not supposed to beg you, because when you were begging that you should be tried, I remember traveling from Kumasi to Koforidua to vote for you 2016, thinking you are bringing something on board. I regretted it. I have regretted all my life. Some friends told me, Anka unya accident or question na uya. Well, Nanado, please, whoever received this message, forward it to as many platforms. Let Nanado hear me and ensure I have my money. Thank you.
So basically what you have there, you have communication specialists, directors of communications, deputy directors of communications, technical communication assistants, media aides, media liaison officers,
are you kidding me?
communication consultant, presidential advisor on media who has a technical director to the presidential advisor. Then you have the ministers of state at the presidency.
And these guys are there for information minister.
Yes.
No, go to that list again. Just on the communication side.
There's a lot to communicate.
Stop it.
I'm just telling you.
You have information minister who's cabinet level.
Who has ISD working for him too.
And then you're having all these guys working under the presidency.
Who work under communications directorate. Yeah.
Of the presidency.
Yeah. There's a lot to communicate.
You can't be serious.
I'm just telling you there's a lot to communicate. So
and what are the conditions of service of these people?
Nobody knows. That's the issue.
That's why the transparency is not. So if I'm a lecturer in Legon and I've been teaching for 15 years, right? And I struggle to get my PhD. And then you have somebody who is a technical director to who has access to fuel. Read the letter they wrote. They said their fuel thing is not gone up. So this technical director, what's the competence, what's the qualification of somebody to do this work? So if we are not transparent, and I'm saying that this is mathematics, this one is not sentiment. If the government wants the pressure from the labor unions to go down, and they want and if they want a credible plan for IMF to, if the plan is not credible, see, if people don't accept the plan, it's not credible. If the labor unions, the businesses don't accept the policy, the IMF will not accept it. So if they will not be transparent with these guys and say, this is what we are doing, I can't understand why you have all these guys working and what are they doing? You say they have a lot to communicate. What are they communicating?
I'm just telling you. But if what would be the justification for
look at
directors of communications?
Mention mention the post again. Mention the thing again.
So the directors of communications.
How many directors of communication?
Yes, 4.
4 directors of communication, and then deputy director of communication.
There are 5 deputy directors
at the presidency.
Yes.
And then which one again?
2 communication specialists.
So the director is not a specialist. Okay, the specialist below.
There's a lot to communicate.
2 communication specialists and
2
then
communication officers. 5 technical communication assistants.
So you have 4, 5, 9, 6, 7 plus 3, 10, 15.
Media aid.
How many?
1.
Media aid.
Assistant media liaison
16,
officer.
17.
Communication consultant.
18.
Then there's a presidential advisor on media.
Charlie, are you sure you're not joking? Are you saying what are you? What is not joking? What are you saying? No. Let's go to this again. Let's go to this again. I want to show. And sorry.
What's the name 2 years? We 2 years ago. Sesiano, dan someone has said per se. Open single room. Sesiano, put us 600. Put 500, put 700, 800. Not dying. Says here, agents for age 100 CDs for viewing fee, and I say 80 Ghana for viewing fee. Just show you the room. Says here, if you are for beer, the other agent for Uchia 9,600. Also, Uchia agents 900, 600, and 900, and almost 1,000 CDs. Why? Cecilia, you to the end day. Why? Like why? What? Like why? Hey, like it's serious. Say, Matsna demo 2 years. I'm paying 8,000. Now I'm supposed to pay 9,600. And you're taking the 2 years. You take 1 year and put. Because you see, me engine 6 months in 1 year. To see how they we Juma may fear. Uber Bob, Busumi pay the amount, say 600 or say 700. You have to eat only small one a pay because a whole month I'm a pay. And see back on one day. Ume should be you. Ume should be you or my 124 monka once a machine. Youth for the year, Brenna, ye kunku, anyhow. A direct in tea, ye, baking pointino, Uber come ye queen. Uber come ye queen to you to ye, Brenna, a dance air queen, a day.
welcome. Right, another beautiful Saturday afternoon. In fact, it's evening, but because the sun is shining so bright in London, it looks like it's still, midday. It's beautiful, nice, and I mean, when the sun is shining like this, the weather is beautiful. I tell you, everyone about town, is so happy, smiley faces and everything. So I am happy with a smiley face. Just join me, so that we can all sail away on this ship. right. Yeah, Damunyanasi. We are thanking everybody. You are all welcome anyway to the show. The show is Fire Will Burn You, coming to you from NFM Radio. Mansa Musa, I'm sitting on this captain's bridge and I'm driving the ship. You see, all what you got to do is to join me to sail away, if you know what I mean. Let's all sail away. So you want to sail away, sail away, sail away. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Okay, thank you very much indeed. Akwebi Kaye. Madam, for your friend, Idi Amin and all kind of professor. Thank you very much indeed. Tonight we are talking about one issue and one issue only. Apart from Mr. Professor Frimpong Boatin's either is a report or his opinion, Ghana no Aihu. All Frimpong Boatin has done is that he has compiled something, some information. He gathered certain information. Okay. He gathered information. I mean, he has gathered all this information and sent it to the president for the president to read, understand, and see what he can do about it. That is all what Professor Frimpong Boatin did or has done. As simple as that. Today, for doing that, he has been sent to court. Frimpong Boatin brought a report or his opinion or his suggestion, whatever it is. He sent it to the president. Say, President, this is the result. What we've gone through, why we are failing or why it has failed, this and that and that and that. Now, why has Gabi Ochredaku taken this man to court? If you are listening to me and you understand this, then you can let me know why. Someone has written a report. If the report, has turned out to be false or everything in the report is not credible, and really for bringing it out is tantamount to what we call it, spoiling somebody's image, or it is that deliberately endangers somebody's image or his livelihood or anything. If that is the case, then you send somebody to court. But if a minister of state sends out a report, the report has not been, verified, or it has not been treated to the full, or the president, or in this case the CID, they have not finished their investigations. But Mr. Gabi Ochredaku has already sent this man to court. Sir, we are civil servant. Now, what the report to be comma upeni so won't you share your memoir? Before I bet you share your man where we know, Nipakra be a 75 hono, utmi di uko court sakeke. Mintias you, if any of you understand what is going on, then you have to ring me on my mobile or the WhatsApp or the direct line, which is 0208-123-5911, or 07876251261. If you call any of these numbers, especially the mobile, that is the WhatsApp. If you are calling from outside UK, you only have to add 44. Tonight, I will try, all being well, we'll get Mr. or Dr. Atta Kennedy. He is in USA. He has written his, his piece. He has written his opinion, or, that he is not very happy with the way Mr. What's his name? Dr. Frimpong Boateng is being treated. Then we have Honorable Roxin Dafiamapo. Roxin Dafiamapo. He is the NDC MP who has actually sent a petition to that group called SHRAJ. Whether this SHRAJ will come out or come up with anything tangible, we will live to see. Many people don't trust or believe in the SHRAJ anyway, because if we all remember Ken Ofori-Attah's case, that conflict of interest case, where clearly he has, he is part of the data bank people, and this data bank, they get a lot of commission, by arranging loans for the government. That conflict of interest matter was sent to SHRAJ, and SHRAJ, as we say in our local parlance, case in I mean, they have been able to prove that there's no conflict of interest. So I want to know if any of you trust the SHRAJ, but we will see. If and when we are able to get Mr. Honorable Dafiamapo, then we will ask one or two. But now, though, let me go to Kumasi to speak to this young gentleman. He is an entrepreneur who has recently lost his mom. Such situations, a very difficult situation. And if and when I can get hold of him, then okay, all right. Okay. So the gentleman, Mr. Richard Mansa, he lost his mom recently. I wanted to speak to him live, but he has sent me a message that unfortunately he cannot make it tonight to talk to us. So we all wish him the best of everything, and may the soul of his mother rest in peace. Listening to Mansa Musa, and the show is called Fire Will Burn You.
NFM Radio, Emudaho. The other issue I want us to talk about is, of late, you hear lots of people or some people arguing the case that they want to hear, a popular sort of policy or, a popular or populist pledge from Mahama, John Dramani Mahama, JDM, that he has to come out with something like one so and so, one so and so, one so and so, one so and so. And for me, I really do believe if Mahama wins power again, the best policy should be a policy on corruption. And that should come about this way, that it will be one guilty person
anybody or one scandal, one serious investigation. I mean, proper investigations into all scandals. Then when the scandals becomes, prosecutable, if there's the need to prosecute, we prosecute. Any guilty person, the policy is one guilty person, one prison cells. One guilty person, one prison cells. One guilty person, one prison cells. Because, look, people, especially NPP communicators, now going around saying, oh, we all have to come together, we have to find a consensus to fight this galamsey because it's everybody. What a nonsense, what a tosh. What a ridiculous thing to say. When we know, we know clearly, we heard that, for example, that's the only one we can even talk about now. For example, the women's organizer or women organizer for the NPP, women organizer for NPP, Miss Madam Kate Jemfua, her excavators were destroyed by the anti-galamsey soldiers or something like that. That shows that, or that means she was, mining illegally. And for this woman was not charged, was not prosecuted. He has now come back to win another election, and she's still the NPP women organizer. Then the president and his people are going around to, claim or, pretend as though we don't know who exactly is doing the galamsey. So when the top hierarchy, the people in charge of affairs, the people at the helm, when one or two of them are seen to be, violating the rules of the land, or going against, doing something in contravention to the law of the land, if they are found out to be, culprit in any case, and yet nothing happens to them, how then do you expect that this, what we call it, galamsey or illegal mining will end? It cannot end. It will never end. And that is what we are going through in Ghana at the moment. Akufo-Addo and his people have become a big trouble, big problem for Ghana. Because the guy seems to, I don't know, you see, sometimes you say, okay, maybe because of old age, he doesn't know where he is, or he doesn't know what he is talking about or something. But as for Akufo-Addo, it's not about old age. Cynical, he knows everything. He knows everything that's happening, anything that's going on around him. But because he himself is somehow involved, he himself, he is complicit of certain situations. So Akufo-Addo cannot bring justice to so many people. No. How can your own minister in charge of fighting illegal, illegal mining, how can he bring a report? Then you ignore the report for 2 years and more until someone found a way to publish the report or let it into the open. Then when the report came to light, as they say, the shit hit the fan. Now everybody knows that Frimpong, Professor Frimpong, whom many of us previously regarded as one of the corrupt persons within the Galamstop or the anti-Galamsey group, not knowing quietly, he was in pains. He was struggling. He quietly, he wanted to, come out with all the truth in order to salvage his image, his name. Now Akufo-Addo quickly, they send the case to CID to investigate. So does it mean that he, Akufo-Addo, after reading through or going through all those pages of that report, he is convinced that there's a case to be handed over to the CID? Or what does it mean? Because as intelligent as he claims to be, and all his lawyers and advisors around him, if that case is irrelevant, really there won't be any need to give it to CID. There won't be any need. So giving Professor Frimpong Boateng's report to the CID, it means Akufo-Addo finds it necessary, something in there tangible to be investigated. And this investigation has not even been, it's not complete. It has not even begun. It hasn't started. But Gabi Ochidako has taken umbrage, and that he has already gone to court to sue the author of that report. Ladies and gentlemen, assembly, Senya Ghana, and himpa na assembly betimiesi. Assembly be Senya Ghana pa, and he biom and assembly ebetimi esi. Okay. So these are the things we are talking about tonight. The corruption issue. And the corruption is linked to the call for policies. The call for policies from JDM. People are calling that he should come out with policies. And people about him think the best policy is on the corruption issue. That one guilty person, when it comes to corruption, one guilty person, one prison cell. Where he said it's as simple as that. You have to write it on the billboards, big, massive, headline, front page. One guilty person, one prison cell. That is the policy. Yempe policy, one chief, one goat, one malam, one what? Malam for Kradian Edimomo. Sheep. One software, one rosary, or a software in the Sikana no Muji. Sikana no Muji. Anyway, let's go for a quick break. We'll be back to continue. Where are we? Yeah, we are here. Right, Mansa Musa with Fire Will Burn You. That's a beautiful song from Osibisa. Let me go for this advert, then I will come back and we'll continue with the discussions.
So emani sika de bagana if we asia fa na nyina yentia kapre ane aye free top connect amasika mane ayem rekra ye wohia ne se wo be download with top connect app no e Play Store de ama wo Android phone and so we use iPhone so ko Apple Store na download the top connect aye simple kra top connect wa man be aduonum so wo Europe North America and Asia wo mane wo dofu sika fa top connect so aye ntem na emre na ma wa hoto so sese die sika manye di foforo kra any top connect so we yan chechemu bia for top connect our +442 081 6155 and a +442 081 761 600 +447 882 950 088 and nasa hwehwe top connect our
the clergy and the religious district when they speak they shake the foundation.
Top connect yes ye DNA.
Let me go straight to the point. We will find wada. Once you attack and send be says so you work come air conditioner and also dumb air conditioning no and said that more no crane say one funny papa man installation now mountia with everything called enterprise air conditioning installation at the Udemo a Rubia okay you never cold room it's a cold stores and you didn't ever see I was saying you know everything called enterprise. Every nice one at your mower, a Rubia, no, but you dika. You install central air conditioning, split air conditioning, car air conditioning, never solar panels on Swa. You want a nice Eddie mower, or you be a boost straight, not to your body will fee. So, what do you say? And our gas and Asa, say you'll come with the Anafia dear, and our co store dear, Nina, a very nice and quick, but we will be a Baba Yedi Amao. Also, more rich, I'm always sit down, oh, my canoe, and over to me, you can lie with so yeah be install air conditioning ni biamamu friend +447508650279 wager adjacent Ghana fire service wa friend 0544489343 and 0302906276 your website you know everythingcode.org and I send you email kjamwako@yahoo.co.uk. Everything called enterprise, air conditioning, master, no.
Right, air conditioning, master. Sancrophone from everything called enterprise. They will sort out anything, everything with regards to cold store, refrigerator, industrial refrigerating equipment, everything to do with keeping or refrigerating your foodstuffs or your equipment, everything that you want to do that requires refrigeration. Just contact Everything Cold Enterprise. Their number I will just let you know once again later on. But yeah, they are that good, and they do solar panels as well. So if you want to order solar panels to be fitted or erected onto your roof here in London or in UK or in Accra or Ghana, you can contact these people and they will sort you out easily. Now, okay, so it's now about 8 minutes to 8 o'clock here in the UK. When it's gone past 8 o'clock, we'll get Dr. What's his name? Dr. Takanedi to come and speak to us, tell us why he's not happy with the developments so far about this Dr. Frimpong Boateng's expose. Then later on, Mr. Honorable Defia Makpo will also come and join us. But for now, let's talk about the recent discussion or, people going around asking Mahama to come up with, another NDC policy. You see, Mahama has spoken a lot, obviously. Look, he's just a human being. It's not everything he says that, some of us will say, oh, it is correct or it's good or whatever. But the guy simply in Ghana politics, he cannot win. He just can't win, as we say in English. The guy keeps quiet and people will shout that he should come and bring policies. The guy comes and talks about policy, then he will be vilified. For why this is happening, is it that people are such cynical? I mean, people are really out of born out of hatred, tribalism. What is it that Muhammad speaks? And, people even don't sit down to analyze maybe what he has said, and then they will vilify him. I remember before 2020, I think 2018 or 2019, thereabout, Muhammad took the mower, what we call the machine for the weeding, for weeding grass or clearing grass. He went to a public place to go and clear weeds at his own pleasure. And that one too, we had a presenter who, not well educated, not educated in classroom, not educated in the house. Someone who is not educated at all. Classroom. That fellow came to insult Muhammad for daring to go and clear weeds or grass, or clear those what we call it, a public place which was overgrown, and a job that should have been a job for the city council or the what we call it, how do we call those people? Yeah, the town council or the town assembly, the local assembly. That is their job, is to clear up the city, the dwelling, the gutters, make it clean and everything. They were not doing it. So Muhammad took it upon himself to go and weed the place, and that one he was vilified. Recently, I can remember, or we all remember, how this group calling themselves Fix Ghana, and they were so noisy, so loud everywhere. They came about, we don't want this in the Constitution. The Constitution is not good. The Constitution is bad. The Constitution favors the rich. A whole lot of, they demanded that the Constitution be tempered, to reflect modern day acceptability, or to reflect the true nature of what we call it, political existence in the country. These people called Fix the Country, they made so much noise, and in particular, they mentioned what one item in the Constitution, the ex gratia. The ex gratia. You see, when politics become very easy in public domain, we learn a lot of things, because not many people had heard the word or two words ex gratia, or one word. Not many people. Many even educated people didn't know what ex gratia was. But now everybody knows. Just like some of us who used to work on construction sites or building sites here in the UK or in Europe, America, and elsewhere, I am aware, or I knew what PPE was all about, because I even had to induct people when new what we call laborers or new workers are employed onto the site. I had to induct them, give them the health and safety induction and everything. So PPE, personal protection equipment, we talked about it. It is your hard hat, is your toe cap, metal toe cap boots. It is your high vest. It is your hand gloves, and it is your face mask. Cover your nose against dust. PPE, the general one, the simple ones. So we knew PPE, but because of COVID, the whole world, everybody now knows what PPE is. That's very good, isn't it? So now we all know ex gratia. And ex gratia, in its very simple form, is a sort of monetary or financial reward or compensation, given to high earners already. I mean, people in high position, in public, what do we call it, public institution, people who work in the public sector, when they retire, they are given a certain amount of money apart from or aside their pension payments. They are given this lump sum ex gratia, which is sometimes very heavy money, And under normal circumstances, it would have been a big deal if, this was given to, let's say, the public sector workers only. But now we've all been made aware that politicians, tend to get the heavy, the bulk share or the lion's share of ex gratia, the big part, some of ex gratia or monies are given to politicians, i.e., or for example, the parliamentarians, whenever they leave parliament or they are voted out, then they are given ex gratia. When they are lucky to come back to parliament again, they will be working for 4 years. If they had to be voted out again, they will get another ex gratia. So public or citizens have come to realize that there is some iota of cheating, non-equity in this, distribution of money in this, with this particular part of the constitution. That ex gratia, many people spoke about it. Many people have spoken against ex gratia. And so, obviously, it is only fair, or one would have thought that if any politician comes out to say, look, now that, we have been the recipient of this ex gratia thing, but as you, our citizens, don't seem to be particularly enthused or happy with the way this ex gratia thing is being carried out, is huge sums of money to be given to people who are already very rich, while the downtrodden, the poverty-stricken, the poor people still remain very, very poor and abjectly very poor. So, obviously, one would have thought that any politician coming out to say that, look, I will do something about this ex gratia, either I will make it reduce, or it should be one-term payment only, or I will abolish it completely. Whatever any politician would say, one would have thought that, okay, he or she will be, that politician will be praised, that you've done well, at least for recognizing or realizing, how bad we, the citizens, how bad we are taking this ex gratia thing, what we feel or how we feel about this distribution of large sums of money to you, the public sector, senior, high level earners still getting big monies after you've retired. And that if a politician comes to say, I think that politician should have been praised. But I think any politician can say that, or should say that, but not Mahama. Because Mahama dared to come and tell Ghanaians that, look, he has realized that this ex gratia thing, one, it takes a lot of physical cash from the exchequer or from the finance, the finance system, or from the government. The public pass, ex gratia takes some percentage or a fraction of it goes to ex gratia. And so Mahama said, look, when I'm voted into office again, I will make sure that, we will find the legal means to either bring this to an end or minimize, something like that. And come and see. The whole country, people who previously spoke against ex gratia, now Mahama said he will cancel it or so, then they turn against him. I don't want to mention names or anything, but you know yourselves, they turned against him. All manner of ridicule, all manner of opprobrium, all manner of, serious, hard criticism for he saying that he is going to abolish ex gratia. Some people suggested, oh, you, Mahama, you've collected too much ex gratia, so bring all your ex gratia before you say you abolish it. I mean, what if not out of hatred? How silly can you be that mature people who speak, in public, on public forums, and, presenters who claim to be very clever, talking hard and harsh to both citizens and to politicians. If one politician said, look, I will abolish something, as I'm sitting here, I'm saying the next policy government should be one corruption guilty person, one police or one prison cells. It's simple as that. I'm saying any government we can, but I know very well that the NPP as we have now, if NPP should win, it will be new faces, but the corruption will continue. And those who have corrupted the country, who have actually corrupted every institution in the country and have made loads of monies, those people will get away with it. So I want to just stick my neck out and say, look, Ghanaians should make sure they do not vote in the NPP again. Because if NDC comes, it will be very easier for most people, for all of us, to push them to do the right thing, to mark them as I wrote, to walk them boot for boot, to tackle them boot for boot, so that they will ensure that people who have embezzled, who have taken, our money, so much gold being shipped away, so much gold. Proper investigations should be carried out. Proper investigations. After which, people who will be, found to be corrupt, they will have to go to jail. If they don't want to go to jail, then all the monies they've sent out or they have taken from the national coffers, they have to bring them back. Because if we are able to, to bring back or retrieve half of billions that have gone missing, billions of cedis, if you convert it into dollars, it is still going to be billions. If we are able to bring half of it back, Ghana will be okay. I tell you, Ghana will be okay. Let me go to America and see if I can get Dr. Atta Kennedy, if he's ready. I spoke to him earlier on and he wasn't, but now I am sure he's ready to go. Let's see if we can get him to come and speak to us.
Congress NDC UK Ireland.
So that will be what it is. For me, I insist that should be the main policy. One guilty person, one corrupt guilty person, one prison cells. But for now, let's go to America, cross over the pond to go to America to welcome Dr. Atta Kennedy. Of late, recently, those of you who read and listen to news a lot, I think it's fair to say he is not happy with so much development about this Professor Frimpong Boateng's expose or his report and the way he, Frimpong Boateng, has been treated or is being treated. Let's go to the man himself and ask him one or two questions. Dr. Atta Kennedy, good evening, sir, from London.
Good evening, and good evening to your listeners.
I hope you are well. I know you work so hard as a doctor from Monday to Friday. Too much, innit?
Well, I wouldn't say it's too much. There are a lot of people my age in Africa who work from sunset to sundown. They do hard manual labor. So I think that what I'm doing is a blessing, and I help people. So I don't complain about it.
I see. Well, talking about manual and hard labor and the rest, I've got some wicked equipment. One of them is the roller thing, the app roller. where you bend down and you roll it forward and backwards.
Okay.
As we speak, I tell you, we say in a coming thing in Amiya because it is really I'm trying to shape my posture back to acceptable. It's not easy.
Well, let me give you and all your listeners some advice. Exercise and fitness is like eating an elephant. You have to eat it one small bite at a time. The recommendations are 150 minutes a week. You can do it in a couple of sessions or spread it over. It's an average of about, if you do 30 minutes a day for 5 days, you are good. While you are doing that, try and get your heart rate up a little bit. So otherwise, walking is fine except for the getting your heart rate up. So what I do is I walk, then I do some skipping, and the skipping makes your heart rate go up. So my advice is that it is good to keep trying to be fit, but don't think you have to do it all at once. You have to join the gym, you have to buy equipment. As long as you are doing the exercise, it's okay. That is why a lot of us in Ghana were quite fit because we walked to a lot of places. There were no vehicles. These days, everybody rides in a car and all that. I actually have a story that can illustrate this. In 1991, I went to an Indian reservation to go and do an elective in family medicine. And when I got there, this Indian reservation, almost half of the adults have diabetes. Almost half. And I met a nurse who was 75 years old, and she told me that 50 years to the day, she had left that reservation after working there for a year as a newly graduated nurse. And she said 50 years before, nobody had diabetes. Everybody was lean and trim, and we started thinking of what has changed. He said, well, Doc, at that time, nobody on the reservation had a vehicle. Everybody walked everywhere. And there was no convenience store on the reservation. Everybody hunted. So everybody ate fresh meat. And he says, so in 50 years, they have moved from virtually no diabetes to almost half of adults having diabetes because activities have slowed down and obesity was spreading.
I see. So walking and like as you say, at our age, walking, brisk walking and light exercises here and there, especially skipping or maybe swimming is also very, very good.
Yeah, that is excellent too. So it's exercise and diet. Just watch your diet, cut down the fat, more vegetables, more fruits, more fish, cut down red meat, those kinds of things, And it doesn't mean our traditional foods are bad. They are great. Kinky fufu and all those things. As I say, fufu, they all come as a mamino. But you just have to take it in small bites. More soup, more meat, and smaller fufu. Then also eat early. Make sure that your big meal of the day, if you can help it, you can eat it in natural light instead of late at night. Because when you eat late at night, they say that it's a moment on your lip and then it will go to live on your hip or your tummy.
I see. That advice well taken. The other thing I do too is someone advised, and I wish I had done it earlier, and that is, I know this spinach, celery, green apple, kiwi, cucumber, all those greens with liquid in them. Put it in the the juicer, and juice it up. Early morning, I take half pint. I drink it. Then before I go to bed, I drink another half pint. And the changes. I mean, early morning when I wake up, previously my whole body is very hot with tinnitus, and I feel heavy. Now the calmness in the body. I've got the thermometer, the pressure machine. I've got one at home.
The blood pressure machine.
Oh goodness me! I was hovering around 148, 150, 152. Now it's around 128, 130, 135. So
anyway, you can get in the vegetables is good.
So, well, that is about the health issue. Doc, I can hear you coughing yourself. Have you got flu, hay fever?
You know, I'm actually, my allergies are bothering me this time of the year sometimes. When the weather, the seasons are changing.
Yes.
You get allergies coming around a bit. So I'm okay.
Okay. All right then. Let's go straight to the point. I'm trying to look for your comment. Maybe if I get a date. When did you make that comment about or regarding Frimpong Boateng's report?
I think it was last week.
Yeah.
About last week Sunday. It was titled Echoes of Galamsey.
Okay. I'll try and retrieve it. I save it on my WhatsApp, but it's gone far away. I can't find it. So I want to retrieve it on Ghana Web. All right. So let's carry on with the conversation then. For me, I don't understand so many things about what is happening in Ghana today. Tell me or tell us your reservation or your opinion on what you think has gone on, with this Frimpong Boateng issue.
Well, I think so. Basically, to cut to the chase, some media, he apparently said in an interview with one of the stations in Ghana that he thought there were some people in Flagstaff House who were involved in Galamsey. And coincidentally, around the same time, the media became aware that he had authored a report 2 years ago, 2021, after he left the government. He has submitted a report to the chief of staff, obviously meant for the president, about the work of the interministerial committee. I actually had known about the report for some time, but the public didn't know about it. But be it as it may, once he made that comment and the report became public, the president reacted by asking the CID to investigate the allegations that people in Flagstaff House were involved in Galamsey. I actually thought that the president's request was curious, because if the same report has been sitting on your desk for 2 years and anything about it, the sudden interest and request for the CID to investigate it made it strange. Then, in a Freudian confession, a few days later, the Flagstaff House issued a statement calling most of the report lies and innuendos, which means that the president never seriously intended to investigate it in the first place, because if you've asked for a report to be investigated, you think you wait for the results of the investigation before passing an opinion on it. If a Flagstaff House to come out and say the report was full of lies, it was sad. But I actually think Ghanaians were too focused on Professor Frimpong Boateng's report. My brother, every Ghanaian knows whether the fight against Galamsey is working or not, because all those who live in these environments where there are forests, they know what is going on. Actually, 3 days ago, somebody sent me a picture that in America we won a Pulitzer Prize. A standing tap, they open it and mud is coming out of the tap. The standing tap in Ghana. So everybody knows how this Galamsey fight is going. We didn't need Professor Frimpong Boateng to tell us that. But howbeit, he told us that, and all of a sudden, everybody has decided on it. I was surprised because there are fundamental questions that as a serious society we should have been asking ourselves. And I raise some of those in my article. For example, the president told all of us that he was prepared to risk his presidency to fight Galamsey. the first question is, what is his status report? Did we fight Galamsey? Did he win the fight? Did we lose the fight? Where is he now? In as far as the fight against Galamsey is concerned. That is question one. Question two, we have a parliament that is supposed to represent the people. While all this back and forth is going on, what is the role of the People's Parliament? Are they not interested in the fate of the nation? We haven't heard anything from them. When do they expect to say anything? Then my third question is, the military was implicated by both Professor Frimpong Boateng's report as well as collateral information. In fact, we know now that Captain or Major Mahama, who died, died in relation to Galamsey. What was he doing there? Was he sent by the military to protect anybody in Galamsey? What is the military standard operating procedure with regard to Galamsey? Are they enforcing them or they are aiding the criminals? These are pretty straightforward questions.
You see, as for the military side, recently, I tried to simplify issues, so I wrote it in my own way, simplistic, and asked the question that the military cannot be protecting Galamsey or illegal mining and still claim to be fighting it. So someone somewhere is either giving wrong instructions or wrong orders to different groups of soldiers, which is really not right.
Musa, that is my point. And a public inquiry led by Parliament, for example, should call the leaders of the military and say under oath, so tell us what your role has been in Galamsey. What have your bosses told you to do, and what have you been doing? How did Captain Major Mahama die? What was he sent to go and do? These are the kinds of things that serious countries do. And I'm not even done. Then we go to our chiefs, Nananum, who are supposed to be custodians of our land. So everywhere that these things are going on, there are traditional rulers. And somebody says, oh, no, they say that they don't have executive power. I mean, with all due respect, I don't use expletives, but that is good. Because you and I know that, for example, if the Asantehene got up tomorrow and said there will not be Galamsey on an inch of Ashanti land, and I'm mobilizing Ashanti youth to protect Ashanti land, there will be no Galamsey regardless of what happens. We all know that. We can say that about Togo and Fede, we can say that about Ghana and all these kind of people. Asantehene on the eve of an election can summon President, then candidate Kufuor and President Mahama to his palace with 12 hours notice. They can stop everything and go listen to him. They can stop the Gabon crisis. And he's powerless to do anything about Galamsey. Really? I mean, come on. And you can ask a lot of these questions, but the last week I've become very sad. Why I've become very sad? There were about 10 other ministers on the Interministerial Committee on Mining, Frimpong Boateng's committee. Why is it that we are not asking any of the other ministers what happened, what they knew about it? How is it that while the president is leading a fight against Galamsey, risking his presidency, his cousin will be the defender of one of the biggest Galamsey operators? What kind of behavior is that? I mean, that is completely unacceptable. And my brother, why this country is broken? The criminals who should be hiding are brazenly heading to court to punish the people who are trying to do something about it.
Talking about court, how, I mean, I don't know, you and I, me and you, we are not lawyers. But common sense will say that if a public officer have written a report and sent the report to his superiors, and the superior may be either delayed or has not taken action, and later the information leaked out. When investigations have not been conducted, whether by the superior, in this case the president, or the CID, then nothing has been done. But this man, what is his name? Gabi Ochedaku sees it right, legally right, to sue what we call Frimpong Boateng for defamation. I mean, I don't get it. I don't know. Is it not he knows the outcome? Does it not he knows the outcome of any investigation that will prove that okay, he has been defamed really?
And in actual fact, the report was confidential, and we don't know that it was from Frimpong Boateng who leaked. If anything, it was leaked by people in the government, because after submitting the report, Frimpong Boateng has been quiet over the last 2 years.
Yes.
So why is it that if the report leaked, this is fault? Why not sue the government led by the president for leaking the report instead of suing Frimpong Boateng?
So in this case, I mean, Parliament, in fact, this gentleman, his name is Honorable Roxin Dafia Makbo. He has sent a petition to Shraj. Well, he's not acting on behalf of Parliament, but at least one parliamentarian is acting. But I think today he said he will come and speak to me. My question, I will ask him if he actually trusts the Shraj, because his recent past experience will tell us that nothing will come out of it. What do you think?
And I agree with you, nothing will come out of it. You see, we have paper institutions that don't mean anything. The body to investigate it is Parliament. And let me tell you why. Parliament can summon witnesses under executive oversight. We can hear what happened, and more to the point, afterwards, for example, if we need to pass a law that will clean up the galamsey industry, it is Parliament that will do that. So I don't think Shraj should be investigating this. It should be done by Parliament. And not only that, you know, a lot of these investigative agencies and all that, to be honest, they've been bastardized. You know, they have not been allowed to work the way they are supposed to do. And like I've said in the past, the government has done a lot to undermine the credibility of these institutions. Look at how an election petition ends up in court, and the government's lawyers are defending the Electoral Commission more than their own lawyers are doing. The other people say, we want to send interrogatories to the Electoral Commissioner. Then the court says, oh, since he has already said she will be a witness, when she comes, you can ask her questions. So because of that, they quash the interrogatories. Then later on, they allow people to come and argue that, oh, the Electoral Commissioner or chairman of the EC shouldn't even testify. And they agree with that. What kind of law is that? You know,
your party members, you know, for what you have just described, going to the court and the rest of it, we all saw what happened. But isn't it funny that in Ghana, in fact, I don't know, I've not read of any other places, maybe in Africa we have the same, but Ghana is the only place you hear people, you know, how do I say it, saying that the responsibility to get election figures right actually, you know, lies with the political parties, forgetting completely about the Electoral Commission, which has been, you know, empowered, mandated to make sure results are calculated properly. Now everybody is making fun. Muntimi, you can't even calculate your election figures and I mean, how can this happen?
You know, Mansa Musa, the reason why our country is broken is that we are partisans who put our parties ahead of our country. I don't care who is in power, who is in opposition. The Electoral Commissioner herself had to amend the results she put out. You know, So if somebody wants to ask her why she amended her report, it is very legitimate.
Exactly.
And actually, in my view, when the court didn't call her, I pushed it privately and publicly that Parliament should have called the Electoral Commissioner for hearings on the conduct of the election. You know, for example, as we speak now, 9 Ghanaians died in the Chima. We don't know why they died. I'm not saying that they were innocent, but as a Ghanaian, I want to feel that someday in future, if I or my son or my relative leaves home to go and vote in an election, they will not just be found dead. Who makes the decision to kill them? Were they armed? Why couldn't they be arrested? Didn't they deserve a day in court? And we, the country, that had a funeral for Floyd because he died at the hands of police in America. 9 people died in our election and we don't care. What kind of hypocrisy is that?
You see, the language you are speaking, someone will say you are speaking the language of the opposition now. That is why all what you are saying wouldn't happen. I mean,
boss,
the parliament.
Boss, I am speaking the language of patriots.
Well,
and I can tell you, I can tell you that I know, for example, that the Galamsey is not just an
NFM Radio.
It's just that they've taken it to unimaginable heights. But in 2020, the NDC campaigned on restoring Galamsey. Actually, there is a dirty little secret. Part of why the MP people got upset with Frimpong Boateng is that despite his token efforts, the Galamsey areas came to perceive the MPP as trying to stop Galamsey, and the NDC capitalized on this.
NFM Radio.
Which is why a lot of seats changed hands. But I think that the way we can stop Galamsey, and it is a national crisis, is not to make it partisan. We need a bipartisan consensus. So if the NDC, which fought 2020 on the promise of restoring Galamsey, comes to accuse the MPP of not fighting Galamsey well, I don't take any solace from that. I think they are being hypocritical. And I can say that freely as a nationalist and a patriot.
In fact, Mr. Eko Spio Gabra, I'm surprised he's asking me for. I'm surprised he's asking me for the frequency when I've already posted all this information. So I have to repost it to him anyway. I'm talking to myself. Don't worry about me. Mansa Musa is talking or discussing issues with Dr. Atta Kennedy. You know, he's a stalwart, one of the top men in what I prefer to say the proper NPP. You know, and he speaks like he said, as a patriot. He knows what is right and he wants to speak. Doctor, like I say, you are not a lawyer, but with this attitude, should NDC come to power and they invite you to head any group, either to, let's say, investigate things in the Ministry of Health or Health Matters or anything that should bring a certain result, will you take it?
I'm a Ghanaian citizen first before I belong to any party. And let me tell you a story. Maybe you've heard it before, but under President Mills, when the doctors went on strike, if you remember, I was one of those people who helped to end it. Because in my view, when people are dying. I met Haruna Idrisu on a show, and afterwards I said, "But boys, how are you not doing anything about this?" So the doctors are under the guidance of the MPP and they want to embarrass us. I said, that's not true, because I know the leaders of the GMA, they are my friends. They are always complaining about how bad the situation is and all that. To cut matters short, in one afternoon, in 3 hours, sitting in my house in Accra and making calls, I managed to set up a meeting between the president and the GMA. And the GMA people were saying, look, we've been to Parliament, we've gone to Council of State. I said, why? Because I managed to get John Mahama on the phone within an hour. But I told him what the problem was. We had a very good discussion. And within 24 hours, the doctors were on their way to meet the president.
I see.
That is what patriots should do. That is what patriots should do. As a patriot, you cannot say that because your party is not in power, you can stand by and watch your country being destroyed. That's not patriotism.
The other time I tried to contact Mr. Alan Tremantin. He, when the election or the primaries started, his first comments were that we haven't got a message. Meaning the NPP has no tangible message to spread about. I wonder if they've got a message now. But if in terms of what Ghanaians think about corruption alone, the perception, are you surprised that none of them is actually talking about corruption and how they are going to help stamp it out?
Well, then they will have to talk about it because, frankly, I think that there are three issues for 2024. It is corruption, it is the economy, and it is mismanagement.
Corruption, economy, and mismanagement. And like I say, I write, in simplicity, simple street language, and say if someone comes out with a policy on corruption, that one guilty person, one prison cells, or bring all back the money so that we can retrieve some of the billions to pay off our debts. This should be a very good campaign message, shouldn't it?
Well, it should be, but it won't solve corruption. You see, Mansa Musa, there are things that people like Rollins, may he rest in peace, I call that symbolism, when they talk about greedy politicians and all that kind of, most of the corruption that happens in our country, if you want to fight it, you must punish big individuals as an example.
Yes.
But in addition to that, you need to deal with institutions. So when somebody starts telling you that he's interested in fighting corruption, if he doesn't mention the police, he doesn't mention customs and excise, he doesn't mention the courts, then that person is not serious about fighting corruption because you need significant institutional reforms, that will stop corruption in actual fact. And then, of course, the National Procurement Authority, because those are the places where the big corruptions happen. And actually, a majority of the corruption that we deal with, the victims are small people. The police, standing there and fleecing drivers, people who want passports, people who want a chance for their kids to go to school. That's where most of the corruption occurs. Customs and excise, people who are doing import and export, You need to look at institutional reforms that will prevent corruption. For example, you and I live outside. You live in Britain, like it's here. In the US, when a policeman stops you on the streets, the policeman can't stop in front of your car. He has to park behind you. You know why? Because he has a camera on his dashboard. As soon as he stops you, the camera will start rolling. So his interaction with you is being filmed. So even if he was inclined to take a bribe, he would think twice about it because it will be recorded. We need to use technology to make sure that these obvious avenues for corruption are stopped. We need, for example, to do things that they've done in places like Latin America, where people used charge fees for things. They do radio shows.
Yes.
And they will say, today we are discussing customs and excise. If you have any complaints, call in the radio shows, and people are calling and giving the service numbers of people who took bribes from them. You know, if it is a hospital, they are calling. Look, recently, even the health minister himself said that when he goes to some of these hospitals, you know, he has to pay for his services. When clearly, according to the National Health Insurance, some people are not supposed to pay.
Sure.
We've known that media houses in Ghana, Joy FM and others have reported about Rage and Kulebu charging people money. Why is it that nobody has done anything about it? You know, there ought to be rigorous accountability all throughout our society. And of course, access declaration. You know, we can't have a country where a small boy leaves university, he follows a party for 2-3 years to insult people, they make him a minister or deputy minister, and 3 years later, he's building a $1 million house. And nobody is asking him anything.
Nobody is asking anything.
Know that if he lives on air for the next 50 years, he can't afford that house.
So obviously,
those are the kinds of things.
Yeah.
we have
So
to do.
obviously, we agree on it that there should be a fight against, corruption. How to do it is, the detail, the modalities, what you have explained. But
Yes.
at the moment where you can see clearly that certain things doesn't add up. For instance, recently the Minister for Energy, Matthew Poku Prepe Napo, has indicated, or he has announced that certain machine, very expensive equipment bought for the TOR group or something, that thing is missing. He just said it, and that is the end of it.
Yes.
How can that happen?
And it shouldn't be the end of it.
It shouldn't be the end
because
of
there are some people who should be accountable for it.
Exactly.
It is the same thing that happened that the director of the Public Procurement Authority, as a result of investigation by a private journalist, Mansa Musa, we found out that he had a company on the side, and he was bidding for contracts that he resold, and this went on for about 2 years. The Public Procurement Authority has a board of directors who are being paid allowances by the public in Ghana. They didn't see anything. We had a minister for public procurement. She didn't see nothing. How? We have a police force. We have security agencies. And yet, nobody else was sacked. Even people who sacking him was difficult for them. Nobody else was sacked. In places like here, the minister, the board of directors will all have been sacked because they failed the country.
What a shame. What a shame. I'm just sitting and listening, and I feel rather overwhelmed, or should I say underwhelmed with all these things. I can also cite some examples, the other time when the NPP were doing their primaries, I supported that lady who goes to GMG, Ellen Deku, that's her name, Ellen, very strong, outspoken lady. I was supporting her to win the women organizer position. He didn't, because that other woman, Kate Jenfua, won it. And this Kate Jenfua, in public, we all know that her excavator apparently got damaged, got destroyed. That means he was doing something untoward, something wrong, something illegal. Nobody did investigation. Nobody, and he has come back to win election. When we run a country like that, is it only the downtrodden, those don't have nobody to speak for them? They are the only people who have to be prosecuted and sent to jail?
Yes. As our country is, those are because, if the people we are accusing of doing things in Galamsey and others were foul and cassava thieves, we will have lined them up and they will be heading for prison.
Well, And the thing is, as we speak, some of them are in prison. I mean, some of the low-ranking people, they are in prison. But those who sent them there, the alleged kingpins, like the chairman of Ashanti Regional Chairman of NPP, and allegedly, no investigation is even going on. None whatsoever.
Yeah, there has to be investigations, and I'm not saying all of them are guilty.
Sure.
But it seems like we are not a serious country. For example, right now, we should be asking the president where his Galamsey fight went. Waters report says clearly that the cabinet and the president issued directives to help in Galamsey, and those directives were flouted. What happened to those who flouted them? Nothing. So that begs the question about where the president's heart is. It begs the question about how the military that's supposed to help in law enforcement was defending illegal operations. Those are very fundamental questions we should be asking. And we need to find out, for example, how we get into government.
Surely now there should be
illegal.
Yeah, Doctor, surely now it looks as if, a change of government to reset the whole situation, to rejig and reset and, recalculate and everything. But look, someone will sit here and say, oh, I'm being biased or I'm supporting one side. Surely, Alan Chemanti and the rest of them from the NPP side, how can they be trusted to actually investigate their own? They will just let sleeping dogs lie. That means, as they say, people will go scot-free.
Yeah, it's a valid question, but how can we trust Mahama to investigate?
That is also another question. Obviously, the other argument will be that
maybe we need a third party.
Yes, that's what I'm going to say. The other argument will be that we need a third party. But since we are very, very, very aware, we are sure that there isn't going to be one, that means we have to treat our politics like it is done in America, where we have so many political parties, but it's always the two of them. One does something wrong, we change them and bring the other. Maybe the difference here is that...
But when changing people doesn't lead to changing in anything, then what is the purpose of change? Change for the sake of change? And I don't say that right there. I say that with all seriousness because, the people are frustrated on the streets because they keep voting for change and change doesn't happen.
People are arguing that with Mahama and his NDC, there isn't or there cannot be that close-knit family, blood ties, or, who have actually devised plans and programs to do whatever they want to do. And so Ghanaians as a whole can bring pressure to bear for them to at least, if not all, at least do some. Do you agree to that? Or you think we are in a lost cause?
I don't agree, but I think it is a reasonable argument. And part of it is that over the next year, and actually I can tell you that I have asked publicly and I've asked John privately that the public needs to know what he learned from his last tenure as president and what he learned and how another Mahama presidency will be different from the last one.
People such as yourself asking him those questions, he must take it in good faith and answer sincerely and properly, isn't it?
Well, he should. I tell people that I'm a Ghanaian first. I don't see party colors. So whatever questions I need to ask, whatever advice I need to give whoever, I just want my country.
I think you have the support of someone who is sending me a message. Said the leaders are deep rooted in corruption. So how could they reduce the rate of corruption in Ghana? So president is culpable in those. That is why, you see, for me, I think, not that, like you say, I trust somebody should come as a saint, but I think the dynamics in NDC alone will not allow it to be as, how do I say it? As a cabal, impenetrable cabal, like this group, where Gabiochi Dakun can scornfully ask a question. He has reported me to the president for what? This cannot happen in NDC.
We can, I don't know that it cannot happen, but we can agree that there is too much nepotism going on now. There is too much cronyism going on now. I think that regardless of how talented the members of one family are, since this is not a monarchy, there should be a limit to how many of them can be in a government. In the same way, regardless of how much talented a particular tribe is, there's a limit to how many of them can be in the national government. Those are limits that an inclusive society should respect. And they also ought to be accountability. For example, when we say people should declare their assets, what did they declare? What are contained in them right now? What assets do they have? Because you hear about people, the asset declaration law is so much abused that it's not even funny. Because there are people who have properties that we know if they lived on air for 50 years, their salaries will not be able to pay for. And yet nobody asks them any questions. We honor them, we respect them, we celebrate their wealth when we know that the wealth cannot be acquired legally. And I told somebody, and he was shocked. I said, in 4 years in government as head of Forestry Commission, Sejong probably acquired more assets than Angela Merkel did as 16 years as Chancellor of Germany.
Obviously, he did acquire, I can tell you, more than Rawlings's 19 years in office, because at the time of his death,
and those things should worry all of us.
Of course,
should worry all of us.
Of course, Rawlings was vilified, but at the time of his death, he didn't have, as a president, 19 years, didn't have $1 million to go and look after himself in America or in UK. Died miserably at Kolebu. And within 3 years, some people are put on mansion.
Well, in fairness, though, I think though that Rawlings may have been a lot of things, but maybe he wasn't that corrupt. But having said that, of course, if you lead a country for 20 years and you get sick, if you looked after our healthcare system,
obviously, I agree with you. I agree with you on that point. Yes, we should have had even. Strangely, why Kolebu? Because everybody knows that place has become a death sort of place to go and die, not to go and why Kolebu? Why not the military hospital? Why not the new hospital? Why not Rage? It's so many questions. But I'm just taking in the context that if he was a little bit more corrupt like the rest, he should have had about $10 million somewhere, and he could have been flying high, first class to America somewhere to go and look after himself. What a shame. Anyway,
maybe he chose not to go.
Well, let me ask you this. On the other side, which of the NPP candidates do you think has the remotest chance? All of them have the chance, but who do you think can come and say, as for this, I think it will give him the chance. He can actually correct things. He can do, because we need somebody who can come and, for me, Mansa Musa, whether it's a token something or is the aesthetics, as they say, or the optics, we need, proper investigation into so many of these scandals and so many of these perceived corruption activities, and the perpetrators or the proper proven guilty ones properly prosecuted and sent to jail. Who do you think can have that, how do we call it, the energy or the will or the willingness to carry this one out within the NPP fold?
Honestly, I don't know. And they say so the campaigns are going on. If they want to do that, they should tell us.
Because we cannot just accept the status quo. You and me agree that this has to change, right?
It has, absolutely.
Dr. Arthur Kennedy, one of these days, anytime I've been assured that when Mahama comes to town, he will visit Mansa Musa. I'll make sure I'll keep you informed so that I know you have a lot of questions to help ask, and I will welcome you to together to try to get some answers from him. He and any other of the big ones who will come and be bold enough to come and face Mansa Musa, that would be nice. But for this afternoon and for all the health tips and medical insight you've given us, I will say thank you very much and have a good weekend.
Thank you for all the work that you do, and good evening to your listeners.
right, so CB South fire will burn you. Really, if you joke, you come and you don't come and talk properly, fire will burn you. But if you talk properly, fire will surely not burn you. Mansa Musa, I'm sitting here on the Captain's Bridge, and the program is called, as you say, Fire Will Burn You. Anyway, we are talking about all the issues, the Galamsey issue in Ghana, illegal mining, and the seemingly lawlessness, the rule of law completely missing in Ghana today. And anyone who speaks genuinely for, a patriot of Ghana will tell you that governance is completely turned upside down, and it's like everyone is doing whatever they want or whatever they like. Let's go for a quick advert. We'll be back and continue.
Bisiafo sese die ye nam top connect so e mani sika de bagana if we asia fa na nyina ye ntia ka pre ane eye free top connect amasika mani ayem rekra ye wohia ne se wo be download wo top connect app no e wo Play Store dia ma wo Android phone ana se wo use iPhone so a ko Apple Store na download the top connect eye simple kra top connect wa manda bradio num so wo Europe, North America and Asia wo mane wo dofu sika fa top connect so a tem na emre na mawa hoto swonso sese die sika manu di foforo kra any top connect so we yan chechemu bia for top connect our +442 081 6155 and a +442 081 761 600 +447 882 950 088 and nasa hwehwe top connect our befuntin tefidie nyina so top connect sika mani wa dofo sumjemu a untia ka pre top connect yensu ye dieni
Let me go straight to the point. We will find wada. Once you attack and send business, so you work as here. Come air conditioner, now so dumb air conditioning, and said that more cassia, no crane say. One funny papa, and I'm installation now, Mountia. With everything called enterprise, say air conditioning installation at the Wawa, Odomo, a Rubia, okay, you, never called room, it's a cold stores, and a Bavia, you didn't ever see, I was saying, everything called enterprise. A nice one had your mawa, a rubia, no, put you with the you install central air conditioning, split air conditioning, car air conditioning, never solar panels also. You want a nice Edemawa, or you be a boost straight, not to your body will fee. So, what do you say? And our gas and say you'll come with the another dear, and our co store dear, Nina, a very nice and quick will be a you don't be yet the amount. Also, more rich, Bobby sit down, oh, my can run over to me, afraid you can lie with so. Yeah, but install air conditioning, Nibiamamu. Frank was 447508650279. Oh, wager, I just sent Ghana Fire Service. Wow, France 0544-489-343 and 0302-906276. Your website, everythingcode.org. And I send you email, kjamwako@yahoo.co.uk. Everything called enterprise, air conditioning, master, no.
NFM Radio, Emudaho. NFM Radio, Emudaho.
Right, welcome back to the program. Welcome back to the show, Mansa Musa, NFM Radio, or see Emudaho. If you're a pastor and or a church leader, you want to do airtime prayers on the radio, we still have some spaces available or airtime available for you to come and take. If you know of any pastor or church member, whoever want to do some preaching on our show, on our portal or on the radio station, let them, phone us and we'll discuss with them. And equally, if you have something to sell, to trade, something to announce, advertise, you can equally bring it to NFM Radio. Our prices are very competitive indeed. Right. So tonight we are talking about the state of affairs in Ghana as we speak. Everything is almost turned upside down. Kufuor recently or once said he can bring even the dead people back to life. So for the economy is very simple for him. I'm joking, but the point is, this our group completely lost in the mist. They are completely overwhelmed and they don't know what to do. Kufuor, and you see, one funny thing is, those vying for presidency or flag bearer within the NPP group, none of them is claiming credit for anything or claiming their responsibility, for whatever has happened. Most of them want to tell us that they are the, what do we call it, they are the economic gurus of the world. And yet, when things have turned upside down inside, they want to just keep quiet and pretend as if nothing is happening. 0048, hello, good evening.
Good evening, Mansa Musa.
Ambrose, so then we have a call here.
Yamiadum.
Yo. Right.
Yeah, Mansa Musa, I heard the discussion you had with Dr. Ata Kennedy.
Yes. 1 second, me and you free, so just 1 second.
Okay.
7950, hello. 7950, hello. Okay, so on I call it, Ambrose.
Yeah, Mansa Musa.
Okay, yeah, sorry, let's go.
Yeah, my discussion some refer my Ghana. I know how you have passion and you want our country to thrive. Mansa Musa, I want a day that you invite the NDC, whether personal assistant to Mahama or those at the top, the general secretary or the chairman or whatever, for them to talk about how they are going to, if they win power in 2024, how are they going to deal with this illegal mining menace in Ghana? Mansa Musa, it is a problem that we need to have a holistic solution. So that we can also ask them questions. Because now this government has messed up and the whole country is engulfed in Galamsey. And the NDC is the next government in line. If all things being equal, if they are able to protect their ballot and they are able to protect this fake or quack military people in military attack to disrupt the part of the process of the election. NDC has more than 70% of winning next elections. So such a party, we need to ask them questions, of which I'm one of them. But we need to ask questions. How are we going to deal with the Galamsey issue? Illegal mining, small-scale mining in Ghana. Because say ambitious questions from now on, we may end up encountering same situation today. Because say maybe a party, maybe a NDC, now me who say me uncle, my classmate, my classmate, my colleague, engage in Galamsey. It's engaging Galamsey now. We're making some money. What you say? Now you are in the fee. Now I buy change. No, I'm saying I say in the fee. Mansa Musa, what is the Ghana? I give me the Baba meeting. You also require in the fee. Butina, Onya, and Odiko. So that will impress on me also to also engage in that illicit activity. And to me, I want but now the reason why I'm not talking about it. I'm waiting for us to go for this primaries. When it's done and the party come out of their manifesto, that is when I will, as a party member, I will start questioning. the stethoscope because
7950. I can hear your sneezing, so you should know that you are on air. 7950.
Ebi a wese wo here ground what to be akomano. So Mansa Musa or see a bisa question because Shabanwe say in the answer na abaya or opposition ya. You say about me about power no. Or see a bisa question from now so that we can hold them on when they come to power. Because yes now say NDC government is decisive on how to tackle the Galamsey issue now. Or mobile power, the same thing is going to happen. They're going to replicate it. They have to be decisive and take a drastic action. Almost say, this is how we are going to resolve it. Until then, no, it will be skeptical because the end to say, mobile power, and I have power. I'm one of them. You have power. How are you going to tackle the minutes? How are you going to resolve it? To me, out the masses, no, the electorate or the delegate or the voters or the Ghanaians general. Say in a party, no, so to Obama no be obenya power na obeye na yensa say you na say you. But rather from Afrao to Elubu, all the rivers that you cross, they are all destroyed. All the rivers, they are all destroyed with pollutants, with chemicals, cyanide, mercury, sulfur. And when you say, yeah, because of Manota, Ghana, you put want to say, my young one say, yeah, I need data, Papa. What you say? You say I need data, Papa, but you have second data, Papa. Come on, say, need probably higher because of ensure higher polluted or my use now also that disease, no. So these are some of the issues. The NDC must come out to let the populace know that this is how they are going to resolve the destruction of our forests and our river bodies, the vegetation and others by this government. Because I want to be specific on what actions they are going to take. I think they are also going to do the same. And to me, the American, I want the day that you invite the party members or those at the top to come and explain to Ghanaians how they are going to resolve these issues because it's very important. We need to start from there. Because the entity is a big critical problem. Mansa Musa, the Mansa Musa, people are in the about anymore, so you must be mindful of that. BBC DNB. Yeah, and the Mansa Musa, the American, yes. Okay, that's fine. That is fine.
Mansa Musa.
Yes, Mansa Musa.
Rabbi Man, now what to say? Mansa Musa, so I'm going to bring us up. Oh, message, Pan. When you say, maybe MPP, we have the man. I'm saying, be an answer or more bomb to us. See, be an on baby, in our friend went to me out, and I'm some repayment or the banner way interview.
And you still, I want you to say, you have the man.
Oh, we have the man.
I see.
I told him that why I'm man make them. His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, Alan Martin, Kennedy Japan, Honorable Adenimo, Honorable Martin, we may put them away from you, Mutia. We answer for time, we have the men.
I see.
And this for the was no my yeti, and yan one, John Mama, and Alabi and Ameboa.
Okay, we there find this for mu to nchen. So now kasa mu wo man India na che say Ghana gina yi. O say me trauma yi bi me say next government say one touch. You investigate all scandal SEC. Any all corruptions are banning na you investigating nyina na obia wedding ceremony bia no straight to prison. When now fu say among Muncroft no why no fun so betimi anya sa akukudro no ayesa adwuma no
amom ye mema na make us say bobo obudi see ana
yes
oh obi so say I Mansa Musa me Ghana by me near 2 weeks and some Ghana them say work about corruption and make a kokoko. Well, this is politician and they are corrupt, but I'm telling you on authority say civil servants are more corrupt than the politician are moving on the face value. And into over and you may question I say a promo up and I remember example. I'm saying a bus passing in I for Basa, Jessica and my bus driver and I'm a boy. I mean, say UK government it's not a conservative who say it can be leakage. I'm not many evidence, but that's how I see it. So we say leakage be for baby, and it's yes and no. Who access to your bank card without paying the money to the driver. And your offense by not oyster one and near the but you go for no money oyster, an oyster crier, or one with China, I'm a driver.
Nothing, madam, we are going forward, and I say, ye digitizing, I say, ye be by electronic. The question will be what they call
electronic say. Manisi, Mansa Musa, Mamanusina, as I need Pabatima, no one do come. Any pay was ridiculous.
Marty.
If the sound system in a year, Quema. I think say, chrono and a leakage now, civil servants and ever almost from a big giant.
Yes.
So what I say?
Yes.
A million institution, let's say about this institution, and then she said, more need for Montana baby. MPP for international 20 years, 16 years. And not no man, some was I don't put your group now, to me, because system on your Dumada. She chrome labor conservative faba. We bearded an aquarium. So what I say? It is a leakage you were baby, and also. Your beba celeb and a bebo, so conservative the bebo. And
me question now, me question me busa on na won ya no. Me say woni me ya adwene say.
Mansa Musa. Okay. What question now wo kan?
Yes.
What's a man money na hand the bet me.
Exactly.
I know the man money na will be able to me aye.
When David me person when e bet me o. Otumu say me say no Ghana for yem pese aban bi be baso. No beka so ya asumudwe oh ya di omo edi no mundi nkone debi ye pese ye investigation every scandal ye wie na say obi anya hwea fine but scandal wo de ye mfa civil servant ntunche because civil servant ye kan ye ba nyina no ntini ye tu aban ya to abama aban sa aban no bae no afi de o say civil servant enye ye nko a enye sa na me peti me say woni bi ya adwene say eye se ye hwehwe ensem no nyina mu na nipa wa dis basic anaso di Ghana sika kwoto amano no bia no ye de beto prison eno woni me ya adwene na secondly why na ofu so wa kokudura anye se wo ka se obetimi aye no because omo bi oho mo ba they cannot prosecute their own it's a fact and to be person who catch me honestly say why na wo trust no pass say hey wait there so ba na and she say no obedi so I don't know me pay you so me too.
and some dear a bit back of my office. I hear Saturday, near Saturday, baby. Said the end before the end before baby, not quarter. Now, so maybe some say some about him. Anything you mean about my unity. I know fit a drum, or baby, so that you didn't do it to me. One no, maybe you almost says a Jumana walk on. And among the NBC, and I betting I said Jumana walk on.
I made a before some Mahama bet me.
No, Mamma, you know, no, also, no,
still, I'm refused to bet me.
No, what's in a it's me church tech, a man bound so airport.
Maybe check a boss and a criminal. And after the Otia. Exactly. Very good. It is about for a bar. I see a check in the aqua swing and someone echo cost swing no, ye check it near Humunukre, and I only mean agony.
And if you know, check and balances here. And if you know, I say, I see a check. Now, your man is not far. Obi Disika, a bino and a brand in me. Name was always come and say, a man, my man, and I had a bit in your yard. Let me say, we have the men to be able to bet me, I said to my name.
Anyway, to be fair to you, now say, to be fair to you, now so and Comobia, O person with it to Jar. Dear now, person Kaukano.
Oh, Mansa Musa, there was a so Mamma Queen. Dear me, best American, say NPPU UK branch. The women's wing, woman on the 9th and 10th June, yeah, Baba yet Gangantua International Conference. Now, what I see any so the yes, our conference is a the person ma I Ghana Titiru. Who say politics no, and your man and Duma. And ma, or my inquiry, and I be to Chama, and Colana man in Hunamane. And to me about Chile, I yes, or bar, which me do a geopolitics. To your Baba International Women's Conference. We are seeing by UK, Canada, US, Holland, Spain, baby beer MPP, Wakata, China, baby beer, and my Yahuke Wambum, and MPP UK, and I host too. And she are 2 and half remaining until 2 and this for. Now we met ye and Sempa. MPP UK, from any branch, but a man anymore. I won't catch them. Near them at the Kuntia, yes, MPP Ghana for as I may acquire yet not to 2024. And who do me, and I may say, me general Fidicacy so Namedi Atomium. Number 1 Safre. Obibia, we are Ghana in Quadia. You are walking and say, O baby.
Now, program we are working. What's it 9th of June? And she share no details, no. Obetuama na a banner say media coverage. Sir, Mobetu Ibisha Kayansa. Now, yes, you have a cover.
Oh, no, Mamma Babido. It's a minimum okay. Program, a 2 days program.
Okay.
Leadership workshop on the 9th of June. Now, on the 10th of June, also, no. Yeah, the conference na empompon so atoa so emema obubu omodin nyina kukudan fo nyina be krom. The main speaker is the vice president of Ghana. Yewra Lancash Woba, Yewra Akompre Kumoja Honorable Woba, Yewra Adenumo Eba, Yewra Jogati Eba, Yewra Chemat, you can't say, Chematin Ejaku, and also Eba. It didn't want Eba Hanamo.
Now, Omumu wine obey to me, made me did a show, Sana. Within our bar studio, either radio or TV, only radio or TV session. Omu wine obey to me dinaba. Now, Minna honey ye dinkomo.
Mansa Musa, I can't promise you. If you say, oh, that's something for you now, one more time, no, I am very, very limited. So, one more back, Nanya me, I don't want a quine baby, no to me bar. Uno mo bedi nkomo na wa tonta from say akwan wo ma watimi aba because e bo no a oba ade chi yana na si kwan so no wo ko nti I can't promise you say me the A and B and a bebe studio but na am so bebe binti no ubenya akwanya na wo no omo edi nkomo na wa tonta
the enti na mi bu sound say bia wa na wo ka say omo ban wo nim omo schedule ni and fine but say wo akoye women organizer wo betumi enka watoto omo ando say oh mo program ni be de mo pese mo ne media for be din kita ho ana enti on ka so okay debi anasa ania okay and the Mansa Musa at the line 30 minutes maybe radio either by phone or present here in the studio because your studio no if papa your radio ni TV no you fit for anybody at all and you know I'm saying this me de show unsa na wa hwe dia obey but mo coverage na kasa no edu ben ho a say mo send the proper official invite na ye hu dia ye be because we need to because the equipments are there and no edoso and we need to prepare any bibia and say mo be ye ho advert nso a eno so kakra bi mu di breya na ye ho advert so ama mo kakra bi ye njimu bebre mo na sese mo scan sese no scan mo na mo santa so nti
waka matren odi ashemensa advert dey memo ye bia mameta because I kwa na ebe ma we for NBC for no who say bibi koso krom ha the advert dey be ba na we ne so dwuma dey na odi ashemensa no emeni du ho no ma mema maso ate safe ni waka ate me
anyway meja mo akọ na fa obetumi dia ayi na to ho a ewo internet is no etie bia because wa be ka say NDC for no be sunlight enti ba mi so be dwan wa so enti so betie bia ba mi so ba be o ma betutu ayampia minimum pa me minimum o ma betutu ayampia what the be so be grow for so he omo ma mi hu omo so a mini omo card omo ma mi hwi
say na wusi ya mama wo mo
say mo na me bedi mo echi akama ye oh omu yenim gwasi for
Mariam said we gani aba no won enye too late we betimi aba why ya try
Marie Boadu said we so gani aba na sesi a no aba no won so no me na membra ho okay
won so chana bra so anu aba wọ́n sọ ẹni abàrẹ bla.
Ye bedwin ho asupam seriously. Listen, that thing ma akwa ababiom na kachira nkrofo so. No kwa na kama beka no. Once I buy the say woni Mary mo betena ye TV anim. Na maybe some questions.
Me ma me atu your for say. Ye nuanom timi nyina platform ba ko so enyi ano.
O na say debi ene o ma me afoto ni nye. Enu kura na efe no. Say amafo be hwe TV so hu ni de beka na say o ma me betwa ka say o ma me say metwa me ni ye je pentin o kan metumi aka bi. Me say TV so na ka nuanom mienu na show the whole world say look, Musi Ghana for match hwe enuanom different main opposition parties no omo mienu e na edi nkoma entokwa bia atemdidi bia ni nka efe kwa enti anu mom na ese mo ye that is so enu be market mo more e na mo mienu so ye women organizer e wo different parties what ketcho ma mi say Mansa Musa tuyefo na emse ne na futuo ni ye
you better walk on your car, Mansa Musa.
All right, yo, and bye. Right. Oh, Jesus Christ, Mansa Musa have problems. I don't want peace. I want trouble. I want problems. I don't want peace. Bezi?
Mansa Musa.
Good evening and welcome and Akwaba.
Good evening, sir.
I mean, Dr. Atakana di Chuchin Komo. That man is as worried. In fact, how he speaks, if you don't know him, you mistake him, say he's speaking for the opposition. Almost everything that you guys are saying, that's what he's saying. The guy, he says he is first and foremost a Ghanaian. Because Mibusan say in future, NDC ba power. now investigation near the Adebia will he have I mean will he not he inviting now by joining now say on where Ghana he is prepared to serve his country. Anyway, I don't know what brought you here, but my main topic is about not about Galamsey, but about policy amount for ATM say oh Mahaman for policy, and my dream is look. Or Mahaman me who and saying, but he will do well to adopt this policy on corruption. Those around him, they should come out boldly to say, hey, one guilty person, I just said witch hunt you. After investigation, if you are guilty, straight away, one guilty person, one prison cells. Period. That will assure Ghanaians. And that is what I'm discussing. So, unless you have something else, take it away.
Okay, Mansa Musa, thank you. Me Dr. Atakana Dinayini Kakra. Now, yes, me say, yes, Dr. Atakana me follow Nache. Satan, I think I was in Form 5, and I know Nuke's president. A lot of clashes with the Rawlings military government. To some due point that some of them had to leave the country. And he may follow for a very, very long time. Yes, he sounds patriotic. But come on, partisanship in Kakra. Partisanship in Kakra. I didn't know Mekasa. Mansa Musa would be a direct question. Look, Nana Akufo-Addo on the NPP. One money you chair tax the more Musisia. True or false? These issues are a cost to Ghana, whether it is about our environment, Galamsey essay, whether it is about our economy, Kanufurata are destroying, whether it is about the environment, Galamsey, Akufo-Addo and then for a destroy, a degrading environment. It is a Akufo-Addo who supervising all these things. Everything permanently catching and say he has failed. Mansa Musa John China Yedino. So who knew the decadence and now the Ghana as sinking upward. You have no option than to say, look, pause. Ghana, Gina. Now you reset the country. That is where we are now. Until Ubisa, Dr. Kennedy, he was like, oh, who said NDC alternative? Fine, it is his opinion. Oh, who said NDC alternative? Now, honestly, to can directly say MPP should continue. But Okasa third force. Mansa Musa, let's be honest with ourselves. Let's be honest with ourselves. Sisia Yekase, Ghana, do you think there's any potent third force and that any third force is going to work?
Yes.
Let's be honest.
Yes. Third force made up of Odike and Kofi Kranting and that guy who used to wear red beret like myself. This guy, Freedom something. Freedom Fighters. Huh?
Mansa Musa.
Yes.
Anyway, that's your opinion.
Why?
That is your opinion.
That's no. Question
when recently Odike comments you are starting making, this guy flipped flops. Odike, we are not paying our taxes to John Mahama now. But Odike has started attacking John Mahama. As he said, the cost of Ghana, no. Mansa Musa, I who. As he said, the cost of Ghana, no. People are scared. And I say, people have been compromised to a certain point here. You are the problem. It is very sad. Mansa Musa, come on, Dr. Kennedy Kasano. A few IEB were mentioned. Say, Nana Kufuado, more mention wound to me, adding to wound to me has not been tackled. More mention PPA, former PPA boss, you know, adding to me, and you talked about the judges, adding to me, you spoke about electoral commission, Mansa declaring elections on giving us multiple results for one election. Why are all these people doing what they are doing? Because all of them have been compromised by Kufuado. To me, on the chairman NPP war Ashanti region, and he is engaged in serious environmental degradation through Galamsey operations. And so Nana Kufuado, Obiani, Ashanti region, in fact, were extended it for Western North or Side Forest in war. Everybody knows, Kufuado knows. And so Kufuado, so all she said Galamsey for, one for, no more do a Montumabano, no more she said Galamsey for, actually, almost there at no attempt. You need to meet in the cheese, not never mention. So more condition Galamsey for. We all saw it. Nipa, omo kase dress you organ omo but to be able to catch the people say you are being hypocritical, you are being dishonest with the people of Ghana. Because when they say to me, or can one more make us on no a Galamsey Ghana, or can one more use heavy machinery and they destroy your forests, or destroy your water bodies, or destroy a farmlands. A Kufuado winning, what a media where you achieve or two fee. Some more question Galamsey, or be able to catch a Kufuado. Then they have to drag in the NDC. They have to drag in your mama. Your mama doesn't have the power. As we speak. Only power no. Mansa Musa, you also spoke about Aji PP boss. South Pano. What people don't know is that scheme in a place on Charlotte say
NFM Radio.
Say Omu Charlotte say based on a procurement infractions. South Papawi, Ajeni Majeno, and the Kufuado could use soon as chief then witness was the day and day. On a co-witness against Charlotte say. Only few Honan would never say PPA. Oko PPA, what was he doing? Contract in a bar, no, not for the the tables, no, Tom. The Kufuado was aware. He knew it. Until said this guy, a journalist, a friend, and who Manhattan Azuri, or they need the buyout. The Kufuado knew it. Mansa Musa, then the judges, Supreme Court, case near point judges, you know. So it is a Dr. Kandidi. Say NBC file interlocutors. I have friend of questions are only bisa electoral commissioner. No. Judges see Mumujina Hoka say. Omun friend on Tunche na mamena agree to Babijina box. No Bijina kwa. In cross-examination, you know, those interlocutors, you know, could be asked, incorporated and asked. Mansa Musa, idea seminar could do baby. These same judges, and Muko Yusu, I said Black Laws Dictionary. No, we protecting Mammy, or Mamma and Mijna at that kind. Now, when ye in Samano regarding something very sensitive to our democracy, yeah, elections. Because election results, no, it evokes emotions. It evokes emotions. The emotions about the Biasu Tunisi. People were in this country, Ghana. I went to and can be Bia. Fine, it's a case in the air also. Now, we to me and make it point to Bia. In people with voices in the country after the case, you know, they should have reprimanded the Supreme Court. So, when you saw there now, a bit with the Oyeni about my Mudachi. We are sad now, a bit with the Oyeni. They said they are now working on a Bumba own NDC going to compile on. There is no law in our system. Actually, say political parties now so compile a resource. Nobody declare a winners. So actually, they are my electoral commission. But or empower the resource, Mr. People see it. Yeah, they are trying, you're pushing their attention. And these judges, you know, and the court, Nankasa Ghana, it is about time. Also, more credibility. More credibility, share. Mansa Musa, Kasimu, say, you were adding now who can be Bibiana Fata. So say, because Judge Bakubi Impodia, Wagano, Tama Yasi Bubu more than the Babisi Cathedral. Who said it was very unethical. Sani Maniamano, a generation of Papano or resign from a bench. Or resign cry. It is a painful mind. They dream pie and cast them into a good squad or TCC. I say, what destroy country, you sure say no. Institutions are all money, Nara, appear compromise on. Institution now, but compromise on me now. Be the judiciary, be the security services, be the Bank of Ghana, just what destroy Biara. Mansa Musa, this time I can see Bank of Ghana, or Tamil machine, this is your honor done a printing press, or Tamil machine, no printing scar, anyhow, without resort to law. Onko parliament, no printing scar, no the make value. No more you should basa or money. Into inflation, you better sorry, and I'm assuming now. It's as a result of that. Mansa Musa, make a bimba what do you call it? Galamsey, ye honest. Mansa Musa, me started grow. I started a new was in the late 70s. Let me start a new was. Inti Galamsey no mehubi. Galamsey has been with Ghana as old as it will take. Now the type of Galamsey I grew up now here. It's not what is happening today. Yeah, time no. Galamsey no. Mansa Musa omu ye kura na omu suro. It is said here in suro to heavy adebeche no. Ahwiana beba ebeye nsuru muwu na ahwiana beka no. Won say omu the shovel pickaxes. Ebi kwa use broom prayer. No da ko pra ahwiana no mo asese gu sacks no mo asua de akohye bush baby. No man can say dig hole be as a well or man dig a hole issue abijin no do yet say the man. It's Galamsey, it is something you cannot say completely you will stop it. No, it won't happen. Because sir Jamaica plan occasionally when the police for every omu basis na omu yesa ne maniama omu nya take offer no mo ko bushi ko radio
no mo jije bribe kakra
of course say we Ghana police dey won twa o may bibi say omu chi ni fana na unya bribe na dey ko no we Ghana unya bribe na dey so this is the type of you know ho and now ko ye mra no so a yan kasa ye laws no ye mineral laws no. Actually, say, apart from the large-scale mining now, to say Anglo Gold Ashanti, these multinational companies in Babylon, the next one, small-scale mining, and no, it is reserved for only Ghanaians. It is reserved for only Ghanaians. In fact, if you go through the process, now acquire certificate in the license, license is where law prohibit you and no kinds of foreigner. Law, no, yes, it doesn't allow you to even transfer into a foreigner. It's only a law, nothing. Now, under NDC, it said the America said Galamsey has been there for all these years. Until definitely under NDC, there was Galamsey. Galamsey was happening. But the level of the stability of our rivers, I have basa river ofin, river cobra, me river ofin, I saw it, I saw river cobra, I saw river pra. She ended the way our money is here. Was it the case? Say NDC time, it was like this. It certainly wasn't like that. But yes, Galamsey was going on. But Mansa Musa, baby, you know, on the quiet, you know. When you say the NDC under John Mama were arresting this influx of the Chinese influx in Ghana. No more Galamsey in collaboration with some Ghanaians. Of course, Chinese have a ambassador named Bibi Okaise. Chinese for no money in your forest. So it was Ghanaians that would want to show it true. That's not what I want to show forest. And so the NDC government under John Mama, they were arresting the Chinese and deporting them. And they did so to about 5,000 Chinese people. Now, Mansa Musa, maybe a lot of people, a lot of Ghanaians don't know. Kama President Mahama, president, you know. May he so rest in peace. Ne vice, H.E. and Mr. Atta. Something happened. I did see in say Chinese people almost second in command. They come when you are president to do the chief, na be the chief. Almost man no ba Ghana. No ba Ghana. Oba no edi impreso ene ebufu so. Didn't know Oba Ghana ene impreso na ebufu so. Because a report was sent to them. Said Ghana government under John Mama were more treating than the Chinese nationals. Now, almost share a data. No, say a lot of their people have been deported to China, back to China. If you can't buy it, say the boof. Into the almost first meeting on it, you know, the almost monkeys play by sizes. A vice president to vice president. And you almost on first meeting to say Chinese Papa, no full of Kasa, and so our vice president then, Mr. Aka, had to keep quiet and listen to him. Utie ne Kasa na ye mo titi omo nkofo bekroma mse also look. Obaka chance on yabo train person no and then they will come back and continue with their conversation. And so they arranged for a military chopper. In Chief Ono and Misata, and our Chinese, second in command, only the team, and Misata's only team, and a few media people, no more jump onto the chopper. And we move into some area, some Galamsey mining areas. And so in the air, a clear view of what is happening to our river bodies, our forests, our land farms, and Mansa Musa, one more back to Accra, no more. Asama Chinese, Okachre, your vice president then is you need to protect your country, because only Kroma, sadly, they will never tolerate it. And so there were some rumors we say, yep, a NDC, a MPP, a political opponents to MPP. Chinese ones say NDC for molesting their people. So time, no, yes, you almost use the quotation of the Chinese now. So it is never true, say NDC for John Mama wasn't fighting Galamsey. In fact, John Mama and the government was starting to wash excavators, and then they had an advice say it wasn't the best way to go, which I agree, because one, excavator no a property, it is obligatory you should be engaged in a year. Who see here? What to be a local governments and this assemblies are no more used.
Yes.
Two, Oshina, you are releasing toxic into the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Three, carcass never can. Oshina never can. That's so. How are you going to handle it? In a mount, giant excavator mission. Now, Mansa Musa, I am going to say, John Mama so bar, obey, allow Galamsey for no mabe Jumaniad. Asema John Mama kind say, one, your laws, there are only category of mining. The large scale, to say Anglo a multinational corporation, companies in Aden. We almost small scale. Into one more almost in commodity shop near you and almost almost any. Into no Osha loss in Mukrana. Yes, maybe we need to streamline yellow Nankasa to help us fight the Galamsey. Just more kind of say, Oba Ombe hands alone. We create it is small scale for now, more concession. We use relatively some heavy equipment, We you no longer declare them as small scale, only medium scale. And then the last scale, we use to say, bonus and Yamaniaman. Now, yes, we are only creating issue if I say zone area which is far away from river bodies, because you established said that I'm saying you can't stop it, because when you go to all the mining areas, there's nothing you can do to stop it completely. But how do you help the people to do it? Say, almost say water bodies, almost say assets, almost say quiet. And you obey a buffer beyond and you don't go beyond it. And a woman will operate to who they are, so they will have to register. So when almost register, Mansa Musa will register there, Mema register media, or before register near one area. Yeah, mining. It is obi ba. That's on register ya. Yeah, plan a bed, you better fish the pana out. Because it's a yeno and branding yen. Now, Muya say we are. Or best set up gold board. That's what you. Or best set up gold board. On number to gold nefi. Local ayufono Galamsey ayufono getting for on better you because you are registered means details now we are gold board will buy it and then the country will know Ghana you unlike if you see a situation here where maybe a Al Jazeera you or all cassette or she put $40 million worth of gold every month to say every I don't know every month to say every 2 weeks to say whatever. You Ghana for you gold you say APM man in Wapo until says Abapanakan. It is a state in Ankasa setting out. gold board, not the to fish small mining, small scale miners, you will be in the know. Now, these people will then pay taxes. As we speak, they are not paying taxes because the law is not covering them. And now, tax ratio, there is some amount of money where they will keep it. They will take it and keep it.
You see, time real quantity. American, say, as Ghanaians, as humans, one fan bro, we should get somebody who is bold to say, for the next 2 years, unfortunately, no, those big ones are foreigners, but that's where we are. Those big ones carry on mining. The rest, whether medium, small, whatever, for 2 years, no mining of gold in the country. Because as we speak, the whole world, climate change. And people are planning, thinking how to change even vehicle internal combustion from petrol and diesel to electric and solar, everything. People are trying. How whatever she is doing, whether she's right or wrong, even though people say they allow other people to fish, but when would they? Afar from the fishermen, they are going day in and out. They are bringing very little, small catch. So it looks as if they have to go very deep, far away to get proper fishing. So they say, for some few months or so, it's funny, but this idea that we can regulate people in the land, so mining gold. I was watching on the Zero, I think Brazil somewhere. They have put a stop. The same in Kitikiti, they have put a stop. And the government should be bold to create other jobs. So that 2 years, if you can stop certain activity for the fish to grow or for the environment to recuperate, the same thing. This small scale gold board, this and that and that. Look, the lip service, they are touching the destruction of forests and especially water. No, it is just not. Look, the plan now, it won't work. The logistics, it won't work. People, if you make it blanket for 2 years, we are going to restructure everything. A law, Parliament have signed it. 2 years, no small scale, medium, everything, no mining. What will be better than that?
Mansa Musa, hold on. Mamefa ayi them fish so far. John Mama has been saying things, but looks, I said we don't want to listen to it. People are asking, ne policy ben or whatever. I say, look, so far projects have been started. Projects have been left rotting in the bushes. But we will concentrate on those ones and finish them.
Yeah, which is very good.
Yeah,
that's a good policy.
Both their NDC, SRT and Anakufa Bejiabuho, and the Anakufa Donankasa SRT are own way or make sure so we read those ones. Now, recently, this fishing a year he talked about it. I don't know, say, or say, a close season, fishermen, local fishermen are so far. Problem is not coming from the local fishermen. It's coming from the massive trawlers now. Almost pretty well. You see,
this one to us again over. Because of time, Obisu Jinado.
Mansa Musa, remember you, that my friend in Midinadra, and he said, Mami quickly. and you know oba rather no obe ban it lawless. Instead of banning any local small fisher cooks, obe ban it lawless.
Fair enough.
Now, this Galamsey issue, Galamsey, even though has been with us for a very long time, this is topical. Let's not rush and push him. Now, the American, I will say it will not work, you know. I just want to know why you say it will not work. Because obey the policy. Me, I know I am an NDC and I know your mama. On for policy or babygina outside, I can't take it. So, or if a vote, we would have thought about it, how to implement it. Into open medina and the casa just like that. Into you're saying, say, it will not work.
Well, me, I know something there. You know, nobody will. They know, we all know this is not a vote-winning policy to say you are going to put a moratorium on mining. I know. So he can't even say it. But the best way is to put a moratorium.
Mansa Musa, moratorium now, it did not work.
Okay, so even if that moratorium didn't work, then giving concessions here and there, it will still not work. So, moratorium didn't work because I understand. A moratorium didn't work because whilst he's stopping some people, he was allowing. Exactly. So that is why it didn't work.
So Mama is not saying he's going to allow or stop the whole Ghana.
No. That policy may be better than what we have, but what will actually cure what we have damaged is not that ad hoc policy. It is rather put a moratorium for a while. That will cure it.
Mansa Musa, I have told
but I know it's not a vote winner anyway, so they will take it. That's all. I know.
I am telling you, sir, it's not a mining area.
Yes.
Kakra.
Yes.
I told you the experience at
that time, very few people were making it, so it wasn't affecting natural anything. That is why it even goes to show there, if it is stopped there, some few skirmishes and people will be arrested and jailed, for the next 2 years, the rivers will turn to their green or black or blue colors again. Then we can start from somewhere.
So as we are talking, it is about leadership.
Well, it is about leadership, but we need a bold leadership.
It is about leadership. A bold leadership is not about somebody who speaks bombastically.
Okay.
Just like a Kufuor, you know what? We are not going to IMF. The next moment you won't say, oh yes, I did. Have you seen that character in it, Domama? Have you seen that character in Domama?
You see, Mahama per se might be as straightforward as as he can, but we are talking about Ghanaians. The Ghanaians was surround the president. They say, look, I have so many things about so many people who are still following Mahama. And that is what annoys some people. These are the people who are messing things up, but they still follow him. And it doesn't augur well for Ghana.
Which people?
I'm not going to discuss. Ambrose.
And what is there? Mahama now appointed influence.
Ambrose.
Yeah, Mansa Musa.
Then I do some bad you.
Mansa Musa.
Yes.
So, issue to do with land and related activities, okay? Galamsey, illegal mining. A baby or baby or Becca or try say or be devices and means no matter mining. It's not going to be successful. Mansa Musa, when you say small scale mining, be it illegal or legal, you know what they do. was a type of agriculture anyway. They were shifting cultivation.
Yes.
So that's what they are doing. They are doing shifting mining.
Shifting mining.
They move from there, they leave the holes that they've dug, then they move to another place. No matter they move to another. So we have area footage. Those how is it? I'm near 2 for the country to succeed in this Galamsey issue, there should be a total ban on surface mining.
You see,
so you are
agree with me. The point is that this is not a vote-winning message. And you can't even say it. That's a fact.
It's not a matter of being vote winning. We need to protect our land. We are all Ghanaians.
There should be a moratorium or total ban for a while at least. Yes.
They are more kind of mystery. Who be so be what now mining area what you are saying is any moment more.
How? It's
never true.
Ambrose, one after the other, please. Because if they have banned this small, medium scale, all those things now, it will even go more. Who is going to give anyone permission or mining permission? Who is going to give?
That is it. Mansa Musa, again, I use the word illegal mining. Because small scale miners, they are more licensing. But the moment they license in Belmont now, mining war, forest reserve, it makes your activities illegal.
You see,
what
will stop this thing? What will protect our land, and rivers, It's not about this. Give people licenses to carry on. And now, I'm simple kind of them shifting cultivation. They do that. Because look, when I'm finding at what I'm stored, and there's no more gold there, and somebody tells me, oh, Canning Town, there is a gold there, new and fresh. I'll go and collect permit and go and mine there. Me too.
This so-called shifting cultivation now walk it is neither here nor there. See the American.
Me too.
A license in the more. There's a designated area near the license in the more.
Exactly.
Okay. But because monitoring, because Nipana and Wahona, they are all culpable. No more yet. If you want the proper regime back. Your more license. Never to say, yeah, when we move license, when we move concession for another year.
Yes.
We will draw your destiny, will prosecute you. All right. Now, all I said there should be a total ban, and I make it only the mind
Kwesi, me the record in fact, on you. Kwesi, baby, somebody Mama Ambrose Abonza. Baby, somebody I am home. Look, I'm not sitting here to say, sir, what I've said is what should be taken. Look, for political expedience and everything, what me and Ambrose are talking about, it's very difficult for any politician to do it. But that is the best way if we want to clear or this menace, if we want to stop it out. That is the best way. The only thing is they can't do it because it's politically viable or feasible. Ambrose also can be the
yeah, the crazy canon. It is not attainable because Mansa Musa, share Obama government here say obey issue licenses for 50 Ghana cedis. You will still have people who will not go and pay for that 50 cedis, okay? But they will still do the illegal mining. So how are you going to control that people? How will you be able to do that? Now, that's what means how to acquire a license to do small scale mining. Yes, too easy. That you cannot assure Ghanaians say people will still not engage in illegal mining. We go on for do one for man that route. Because say abattoir sike obajeno more than say obatili cocoa. No at all cocoa near 2 on cocoa. How are you going to control all this thing? But when you're leader also dedicated, when you're leader on one kasa on yet corrupt, on one kasa he's not behind, he's not conniving and condoning in illegal mining. Like what is happening now. What you say? You will be able to stop it. No, not stop it completely, but you'll be able to reduce it to the barest minimum. And whoever is
Agos, don't forget, sir. Some of the leaders might be strict too, but and then so about Bemo say, hey, Charlie, Nkrofono go Ayensuano, Muna, gold ye scanner, ye sponsor you, you got to be very careful. That one alone will stop you in your tracks.
I remember an example. I had a research in 2014-15. There was one doctor, I know Juma or Canada. It's a minister that didn't buy. Obey Juma or Ghana. Obey Juma or government institutions. NFM Radio. One-on-one. I have him on my phone. I'm a recorder. So he says, Minister say, Kojo, the only how I would see you Juma or Canada. Until from how? Oba yes, straightness and they will kick you out. So Oba, their cost will hand now, baby. And what do you expect such a person to do? He cannot create any innovation. He cannot initiate anything because the open one and your papa now say on Panya Juma, but you're free. I'm not buy now. Only to coffee and water in the buy. Who's a month to buy them a year Juma or Ghana? Then what output now pay in the paro? Your mindset, you need to change it. Yes, a bit dedicated to our country. You're a good leader. Mansa Musa, we will be able to stop illegal scale mining. Now, surface mining there, if I'm supposed to write any proposal to any government or any authority, I will say they should ban it completely. And too much time saying surface mining. What I say? I say banning surface mining, you're banning alluvial mining. We cannot mine in our water.
You have brought in the proper words for this. Say surface alluvial, no way. Mining with machinery, no way. That's it. But the problem is I'm finding to be creative jobs are. When
you say it is a small scale, if the government can create a small scale, now over deep shaft, they can grant you the license and supervise you. Go deep shaft, but not surface mining. When you go deep shaft, they can't permit you. They will not give you the license. But say, what license? Also, even a small scale. Now, also go deep shaft. They should be monitored. They should monitor you. Daily basis.
I think you've made the point. If you can go deep shaft,
yes.
And Nipa is about me deep shaft. That's it. Then Obianka semen to go. No surface, no alluvial.
Exactly. And when the proper monitoring, all these activities will stop.
Crazy.
Oh, Ghana no, because of yes, can you do
my entire question is on nearby. Yes. Okay.
And when you are doing it because you are more kind of practical.
All right.
Let's face the truth and let's face the facts.
What is the truth,
as they are on the ground. The facts on the ground, they say, you go to the facts say, seven maybe, and I'm in Kramunia, Juman, Yanis, and Emmanuel. Say Accra, a mining area, all of them would have gone into a consent to Galamsey.
But who told you that gold cannot be found in Accra?
Well, they will do it.
Do you know the number of licensed small scale miners, roughly the number?
Meaning.
You.
I can't give you any feedback because
the mining union funds last catalog is in the hundreds. That is a legal license. The point is to mine a gold, it's not something like to just uproot cassava. You are disturbing the ground properly. Then you have to create water source. If you don't have water source, I use the nearby water, which is a river. Now, even if you create your own local water source, the chemicals needed to refine the gold there and then so that you can sell it properly, no, those chemicals, in time, they get into the soil. Until the more people you get doing this thing, the bad it is for the environment. That's why some of us are suggesting that we should put a moratorium.
Maybe they are all canon. I agree with you. But what now?
But
mining, maybe what a mining area? Minka be on your galamsu. The proper, the iron flows and near proper mining. What now? Area be.
The proper mining behind the baby, proper scale mining behind the baby. The only one license to do they are even destroying our forest cover, our river.
I know, say issue no, disturbing, but my own motions in Kakra. We are talking about the realities on the ground.
So what is the realities?
So small scale miners, so one source of water be on the treaties at the end of gradually a assassin, which is true. And are you saying, say, the large scale miners, stop now?
Well, if you watch properly, the large scale miners, they are concentrated at, certain spots are in him. If you no crampono, bibi visanius bibi obwasi, it has destroyed even the town itself. But we can live with it. If we allow plenty individuals, for example, if Obwasi area and its villages, about another 10-20 miners are giving licenses. So it means another 10-20 of those chemical users are legally going to use those chemicals. Me say, look, to prevent all this destruction, it is not politically viable, I understand. But the best, and then we have to put a stop to it for a while.
Mansa Musa, who put a stop to it? Then you don't use the word the while. Let's stop all activities.
Fair enough.
Including large scale.
No, for large scale you cannot because you can't. Listen. Listen. The large scale, you sign contract with external sort of companies, and it's different from your own. You haven't signed any contract with your citizens.
No. When it comes to all cash out pollution, chemicals na extinct quite as cinema. Maybe I need a test first. Maybe I need a test. I would say about 200 meters.
Just because Mahama has proposed this, it means we have to accept it. It is wrong. Listen, I know he wants to win. He wants to win power. But that doesn't mean that what he has proposed will help the country. It won't.
It is not practicable. No.
Yes, sir. Then you jump in. Small scale miners, almost a source of water from the year. Actually, still, never can say what's not a large scale, so called large scale mining areas. Maybe I'm not amenity. Maybe I'm not. It was about 200 meters away from the treatment plant, AGC, Obwasi AGC, now would there be so be out of what he said? Almost paintings in a heap on effort.
Okay, let me give you an answer to that. Do you know this word called carbon footprint? I read a story. I don't know whether it's Singapore. I forgot either Australia, Canada. One of those a long time. Companies they were mining certain things when this government of the people from your friend the climate change, they were the many majority in that government power, they brought a law which will make these companies pay what they call carbon footprint fees or levies. It was so huge that they themselves they stopped and packed and went away. And if you feel, sir, the big companies, so they are also destroying now. And so government, okay, we are going to pay some big levies. The carbon foot something levy. Did they say they go run away? Or that levy can be used to reclaim the land later, which the same levy cannot be leveled against small scale miners. Because see, them small scale cano. Or ye de and you stop. Or ye a river, big rivers, oh, when you stream, big river, aye, brown. Now, what's this? You can't small scale. Abba small scale. Abba. Well, it won't happen. I mean, I know this one. I don't know who do it.
I don't know where you are drifting towards. Because their own canon, this pollution issue, no? This large scale miners, no, almost pollute.
Exactly.
But meanwhile, when these people come and mine, they take the money out of the country.
Sure. So we should hit them with levies. That's what I've said. We should hit them with levies. I'm not saying they should get away with it. We should hit them properly. Government should bring parliament. Heavy levies.
Mr. Musa.
Yes.
Me person wone Ambrose. Most starting campaign say you want a total.
That's what we are going to start. Seriously.
And let's see if we are going to succeed.
No. I know. Because politically it's not viable. I understand.
It is not that a political.
Mansa Musa, do you know what? Economically, one scenario from the way
economically, it will not help our country as well.
Okay. Ambrose.
Mansa Musa, the way can say large scale mining activity be so harm to our forest near them. It is true.
Yes.
But the issue is Ghana. The authorities, they are so corrupt that one standard board. What you say? Standard board. Yes, already telling Kofose, various cocoa buying companies, no more check it, almost skills, because I know my justice case on the farmers. You know what they do? What? So could do say as a Grano could do no on count to the number some they listen on the number of various purchasing managers Sebia Fedco PBC this and that no matter meeting they meet them a human of the Omukwa every cocoa district and every deal from any private company or government company Omusika Omutia Omutisika each of them various towns and villages are more skills for Marco Check. Omo skills no more the stickers now the boss scale for a year no near their madio no near charge near Josika then they leave. That is all what they are doing. It is still our na cocoa no skills no pieces no asemu maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 kilos. No more the move farmers. That's what the same applies to the mining sector no. Your institutions are almost say all this large scale money should work to the in compliance, but they are not doing their work. Oh, when you hear a good leader. What you say? A good leader who attempt to instill discipline in the public officials. See, you are a good leader now. All these things will stop. Mansa Musa, higher with the corruption here. But it's not up to that level. Now, so you say, or Yena Yachina, or Nagasa resign, you will be prosecuted. They will investigate it and you will be prosecuted. But and the small scale man may say if NDC will need 2024 election, no Mahama Ba no say he is going to support small scale money, NDC will fail on that sector. I'm telling you, Mansa Musa mark it on the wall. Well, NDC will fail on that sector.
My friend Ambrose, the point is that there are many way cano. Unfortunately, but that is say percent car at the end of 3-4 years Obiangu solution a clear assassinating in our starting and and that is the best way to go. But they are not going to do it anyway.
The issue is soda. You must see the difference between the difference between illegal scale mining and legal scale mining, small scale mining. There's no difference. The modus of operandi are illegal scale mining, small scale mining, miners no use. It's the same thing. And those who have the lease to mine, almost somewhere. If it's some of the only back on say, Omo say yeah Mansa Musa yeah be say yes omo license to operate no. E go when omo license to for prospecting. But the amount no more they end up mining without doing the prospecting. Oh, it's omo kan omo value am not quite illegal.
Makai say, okay say a ban on whale hunting. And omo Japanese also for scientific research, you know, they can hunt a few. And we ask for who you know. Now, after a Japanese vonenya, instead of say be 10 laboratories in Japan, omo hunting for laboratory, you know, omo about 200 laboratories. Omo hunting for scientific.
Oh, baby, Major Mahama Kowu ya. No more yet more. Yes, I say, if you say, Nelly, I am more mining lease in the corner. That time, no near more, I didn't for transporting. But they were mining. You were mining, so they were engaging in illegal activity.
You see?
And you have no difference, no? There's a need to ban surface mining outright, and then they also ban alluvial mining. Nobody can mine in our rivers and water.
I think that is the way to go. I think that is the way to go.
Ghana for Yam say the next a year guarantee for no on the say they are going to the Volta River. Then all our rivers in Ghana will be I'm telling you. That is what is going to happen now.
Anyway.
Oh, it's
just run up for us.
It's not going to work.
Kwesi, run up for us, Nayampo. Now, Kwesi, before you run up, now let me ask you before you go. You are one of the executives or the directors of your election here. So far, no, what is happening? I mean, the latest.
One, me executive. I mean, I'm a director of elections.
Yeah, but you are something. I mean, you are. What are you then? Which group do you belong to? I mean, I know you are somewhere.
Vetting.
So let me ask you, I mean, general, what you can tell people to listen, what is, because, Kwesi, Morocco, there.
Mansa Musa, listen. I am not one medical culture as a executive of the party.
Yes.
At the moment. I used to be.
Yes.
A Basisi and executive. 2, we were given a job to do.
Yeah.
Ya hand over.
And you move vetting for where we are. You have vetted everything. No, let me ask you on the vetting. You have vetted everything and you have handed over.
Yes.
And it has been approved, or there's challenges?
Well, once the interim committee, I don't know where they got into. And I don't intend to maybe phone somebody or ask somebody that will look like you are trying to interfere or something. So, you are on a committee where you pass it on.
So, to another, the vetting committee has finished, and who is now scrutinizing your work or something? Which group? Say it again, Amanti, 1 year.
At the moment, there were 4 committees.
Yes.
All right, there were initially 3, and another one that came. The election committee, vetting committee, and then the other one was called appeals committee.
Okay.
Yeah. And everybody is doing their job. And I don't want to be talking on air about Nyama Ejumana. Yeah, because I'm not the spokesperson for the party.
Yeah, you don't have to go into details into anything, but at least there's some information you can avoid.
That is where I've told you where Yanya Ejuma could do. And let me leave it there. When you get the official party executives, maybe now say they want to speak to it, that is fine.
Looks like everybody is running away from everything.
I haven't run away from anything. I've told you, you're passing it on. I don't know what is happening at the other level, so I can't speak to it. Yeah. Well, gentleman, alluvial mining. Mansa Musa, did you know? Say, Ofin River. From time immemorial, alluvial mining has been taking place there. And so still, I didn't show you a papa use.
Okay.
That is why I make us say some of these things, you need to know the reality on the ground. Yes, because let's put a total ban. It's not going to work. Alluvial mining. Or in Chromata, I know we are alluvial mining in
many countries, baby, I'm banning alluvial mining anyway, but
the question can alluvial mining or can a tomu and yet recent activity, a tomu da. It's more one because of that. No, all these times no more, but it was banned. They were not doing it again. Please see, I was saying. Hiawa and Co. They were doing alluvial mining, Dunko and other places. That was in the olden days. Now there's no more alluvial mining. But now this illegal mining has brought back alluvial mining. They are scooping all the the riverbeds, and that is causing the destruction. Now sanction we amend your best sanction surface mining and alluvial mining will not succeed. In this sector.
Anyway. We will not succeed in his own. The point is a Ghana for no inform who was obedient Zika at no bottom no. But ye per se a environment, yes, you in Bia and warm room, ye per se restore to the previous standards, Nidia. We need to be drastic a little bit than just going over the same. That is, we are going to supervise. Let's give licenses here and supervise this one here. But anyway, crazy. Listen, we agree to disagree. We cannot all be always in the same corner. Sometimes one. Yeah.
Mansa Musa, American Mamenka, just a second.
Quickly.
American, the American say, Nana Kufuado, and any. Aspirant via opposite ability man so or then no be can say still an surface man in koso o my fa no nkota baby 1 month na yensa ofin so ni bi on no benum anopa odidi obenum ana yeko satano on ma pa onum say for a month onu wie na say otumi be ka say e boost e man na ye be man kwama na ye
good. I concur. I know Kwesi will not concur, but I concur.
Yeah, because but there's no water, there's no private water or any other.
It's sad, Missy. If you go into this on the world scale, many countries have, but okay, the countries, the poor countries, they are still doing a little bit, but Luviano and fashionable bio because it destroys a lot of ecology, a lot. Anyway, Kwesi, Chale, your friends here, Nyami Aduma Monday.
No, Mamenka,
okay, quickly.
Ambrose, I say, Obi Obaka somewhere, Monstan, or Monpan Kosna Bedin say, now Okasa, I won't concur. That is to say, Insuna, I say, no. Many people say, is that no what you are saying?
Not in particular that the message so I concur maybe but and yet that particular so if that's how it came out and then that one I'm sorry because no any sane person will say there this he will not agree or
no hard feelings
okay
now make sure they say this small scale miners also almost license sir, there are certain idea won't to close to any water body. But the other also can say there's no difference between illegal miners and small scale miners, And then I make catch on initially say, almost share your law, no, almost say there's a gap. And no, we are opposite, no, they are opposite to say, oh, yeah, galamsey. But when you make the law distinct, because if you look at your laws, a porous kakra about the mining, a porous kakra. It's a tricky law, no. Now, a distinct. This one belongs to this group, that one belongs to that group. And you know what you are doing. All licenses for phone. No one can say you're Majuma. That's being conquered license. No, but do you think they themselves will allow the person to? do that. Mansa Musa, the reality, and the reality is to me banning mining completely in Ghana. I am telling you, you cannot do it because all the over you know, do you have enough police people or the military to patrol the whole of Ghana? You don't have it. You don't have it. We are government. You come out with policies and then we shape up Nipano or behavior. It's just about BBD, my banning. Nothing for the work. Yes, I come in the corner and Cobra River. Mama can now Cobra River, Brown River, nay, a child in Surina. Now, yeah, mad to say that I am. For the banning at the end. In fact, I want that time more banning or so a banning, only say a gold a year for gun a outside of the country, a year more.
Okay.
All
right, Ambrose.
Yeah, what's
we don't concord, do we?
If I have to write any article or whatever,
Ambrose, I will support that.
That is my stand.
Ambrose, I will support that move.
There should be total ban.
No, you are not being real. I will tell you honestly.
There is total ban. I will never agree with anybody who will sanction small scale mining.
So we'll go for total ban. We'll go for total ban.
Bisa nipa na okasa na efe de se kwa me efe de ana me fidi. Kwesi bisa me say. See, community mining no more. Some lines some there. Are they following the guidelines?
That is what I'm saying.
How they are destroying the forest cover. Community mining. Is it illegal or illegal mining?
No, the opposite. That is exactly the
you didn't talk about small scale mining being legal or illegal. They are all doing the same strategy. We should stop it. What do you understand? Because that is my no more. Or buy no so wabani galamsey, no. Oh yes, wabani anu pushi ono anenkofo into the forest. I don't know more yet. It's the more also wabani and then the more na water stay by. Oh, it's I imagine, no. Sorry. The more yes, you need a leader. Or kind of weather, obey you see the word because this community mining now, Nana Kufuado Akopabano, and the same that I'm saying now, no, yeah, I say, I'm not about I can't be, no person or done in the book at he hasn't changed anything about it. Nana Kufuado cannot be trusted on his word. The leader, obey honest with the people, obey honest with that. They look. This activity, in reality, you can't totally ban it. But let's do something about it to contain it in a way.
Yo, we here.
I'm telling you honestly.
Sir, once I try here, said the total ban, no? If we try that and doesn't succeed, then I'll
ban it. Total ban, it didn't work.
And when you total ban, total ban a woman on crop for you know now say any total. In physics, what's the ideal situation? In the ideal situation, in a canoe. Ideal situation now also can
if you regulate them the ideal situation from in this world.
Listen. No, but this is what we are all citing there. You are saying that if you regulate and everything in an ideal world, it should work. The same way, if you do a total ban in ideal world, it should work because you make sure that you supervise and make sure nobody is mining. It's as simple as that.
I don't know, me where you power picture me paint picture,
Okay.
Picture now, me picture show you Dr. Baumia, position,
Okay.
About economy, You was talking about textbooks economy.
Kwezi, Alluvia has been banned in some countries. Why is it that they have been able to do it? Now you ain't me yet.
Me say, the awo no. Hey, Dr. Baumia behavior. No, position.
Baumia Martin.
Yes, oh yeah, textbook. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you man, over to the reality on the ground, you know. What is what generating economy?
The reality is, it is not politically viable. Otherwise, the best thing, at least 5 years, there's no surface or
even economical, no, it is not viable because these young boys and girls, you know,
create jobs for them, and you got to create jobs for them. If that is the excuse, but if that's the excuse,
a complete ban on it, I will agree with you.
Because see, if that's also your pointer, then we should allow everybody to do it because after all,
no. The American won't you need to give out the license. License, you know, yes, they are more blanket and I didn't know Professor from Pombo to none of you know. Or say, Obiputa license, yeah, they are man, but they are share a forest. No, only moment, officer of fighting, my betting license, or sensibly, operate proper a small scale mine, no. Only the Papa share. Forest. Okay,
and we agree to disagree. You know, you are not in favor. You are not in favor of it. Kwesi, you are not in favor of a complete ban. Kwesi, you are not in favor of the complete ban, right?
No.
Okay, we are in favor. Let's end this. It's okay. I am in favor. Honestly, I am. But if it will work, fine. Monday, I like this.
Okay.
Ambrose, thank you very much.
Yeah, my question was there is no proper small scale mining in Ghana. There's no proper small scale mining.
There's no
proper scale mining.
Monday. Next week.
Ambrose interested to say, those who have mining leads and those who have because monitoring. Because we can apply such license, genuinely, we have genuine license. At the moment you go to water bodies, now for Madia, you have automatically operated, you can say illegal galamsey. Opa forest reserve automatically all operating galamsey. That is what we are saying. There's no proper monitoring. And it's not Professor from the world he said, oh no, or you're not to fight it. We're going to the other license, but they are going to share forest reserve. Now, I don't know what smart soldiers need to get forest.
Okay, but what about another suggestion? Okay, even if you have to follow yours, there should be a rule that no particular region should grant more than, let's say, five concessions in a year.
I agree with you.
Not more than 5.
I agree with you. Totally, I agree with you. Laws, we need to tweak the mining laws. Because there are also laws, no pretty law, I do baby. People find loopholes now.
Every region be able to gold,
there should be more than 5
surface mining. It should be not more than, let's say, 10 in every region. And if that 10, you give concession for 2 years, maximum. After 2 years, another group can come.
2 years, 2 years, they say, you should vegetate the area within your concession, So with me and your concession in at the book. It is at one point of your concession, not a host no move to another area. You need to kind of simple obey land in the back and we vegetate. And then, but within 2 years, so flappers are there now, inspectors within 2 years, you can withdraw your license. But some say, yes, it will work.
Anyway, I still insist on complete ban.
What the galamsey never back. What the way complete ban. What the galamsey never back. I'm telling you, and I get a Kasa see, Bush and Confucius Bush, and a power economy, we are going.
All right.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Madam Munyanase.
Thank you.
Right. It was lively. Honey, DBC, 10:44:45. Time now, Kosurubebre. And Yahweh, Yamia Duma, Monday will come and continue. Have a pretty night and weekend. Bye bye. Yes, sir. And now that's mine. Sit back.